radio stations. In Melbourne, 3UZ Good Sports. In Perth, the brand new Racing Radio 1206 AM. And in Brisbane, 4TAB are proud to be part of the 12th edition of the Australasian Racing Year for season 93-94. Once again this year, Raceplay, the sporting company, has been joined in the production of the Australasian Racing Year by Sky Channel, Australia's satellite sporting network.
Welcome to the 12th edition of Raceplay's Australasian Racing Year. There are some memorable highlights among the 84 Group 1 races we'll review. The first being the Manikato Stakes at Moonee Valley. The winner, Never Undercharge, was prepared by Bart Cummings, one of the all-time great trainers in the history of Australian racing. Over on the inside, Bouverie Mist, and they're followed by Green Sweep of Saracen just behind them. They're followed by the heavyweight further back, then Primacy. Pulled out wide, Prince Acumen, followed by Black Rouge. Never Undercharge back second to last now. In front of it, Silver Neon. And last of all is Rain and Thunder, 550 out. Solutional length in front of the heavyweight second. They're followed by Prince Acumen third. Further back in the race then came Silver Neon. Primacy being ridden along, and Never Undercharge taking off around the outside, 5 lengths off them. Then further back, Saracen as they come to the turn. Primacy going backwards. It's Illusion in front, turning for home from Prince Acumen, and here's the charge. Never Undercharge on the outside, makes a line of 4, grabs them out wide now. With him is Silver Neon. Never Undercharge has swept to the front of the 150-metre mark. Full of running now, drawing a length to Silver Neon and Prince Acumen, and Never Undercharge is back bigger and better than ever. Never Undercharge.
Coming off a win in the Stradbroke Handicap, Never Undercharge proved too classy for the opposition. For talented jockey Simon Marshall, the Manikato Stakes was the first of 6 Group 1 victories for the season. Never Undercharge is a son of the Habitat stallion Lord Seymour, who stands at Yallambee Stud in Victoria.
In the early part of the spring, leading jockey Mick Dittman had partnered Naturalism in the Memsie Stakes at Caulfield and the Fian Stakes at Moonee Valley. However, on both occasions, the 5-year-old stallion's performances behind the David Hayes-trained Palace Rain were not up to his usual high standard. As a result, Dittman elected to ride the Kiwi champ Viander Cross during his Australian Spring campaign, which commenced in the Underwood Stakes at Caulfield.
Down the side, Saracen a neck in front, running up to the 650. Runyon is second, one to Air Seattle. Hard ridden now from Innocent King. Tennessee Jack on the rail, and then our Pompeii. Our Tristolites lost her place coming to the turn. Kiwi Golfer Mannerism next, followed by Star of the Realm. Round the outside, Sub-Zero, Fra and Viander Cross last on the rail at the turn. Into the straight they run now, and Runyon dash to the lead over Saracen. Air Seattle, Innocent King's under the whip, and then our Pompeii. Our Tristolite coming into it again from Tennessee Jack. Viander Cross still well back, and Runyon at the 200, raced away from Saracen. Innocent King's running on pretty well, but Fra is well clear. Runyon from Innocent King, and Mannerism down the outside. Runyon's entering the whip. Runyon's going to win it. Runyon is first. Fate of the Miners, Mannerism or Innocent King. Close up was our Pompeii. Then Viander Cross, who finished it off well out wide.
Jet-setting jockey Brent Thompson marked his return to Australian racing with a smart ride on the imported horse Runyon. Thompson's 4th Underwood success gave trainer Lee Friedman the first of 10 Group 1 victories for the season. Runyon is the first Southern Hemisphere Group 1 winner for champion sire Sadler's Wells, who stands at Coolmore Stud in Ireland.
Runyon's win in the Underwood Stakes was a clear indication that track conditions on the day were favouring horses racing close to the lead, a pattern of racing that put several of the popular runners at a disadvantage in the Vic Health Cup. However, nothing could be taken away from the winner Black Rouge, who ran second to Mannerism in this race last season.
700 to go, Black Rouge by a length and a half. Chortle is second, and then Street Ruffian. Wonder Bundy Lad moving up fourth around Primacy. Adius Comberbash, Wonder Let's Hurry. They're followed by Status Heroicity. Back behind those horses, then Colebrook round the outside. Rose of Maritza on the fence, followed by Marabou's Phantom and Hula Warrior. Golden Sword still well back, coming to the turn from Silver Neon. Reading Kenny's Best Pal and Slanchy Bar. They're homeward bound 350 yard, and Black Rouge in front of Street Ruffian. A length and a half to Primacy. Popped the big question, and then Bundy Lad. Let's Hurry down the outside, and further back Rose of Maritza, Hula Warrior. They're inside the 200. Black Rouge in front of Street Ruffian. Primacy and Let's Hurry on the outside is finishing well from Alias Comberbash. Black Rouge still in front, though he's holding a length and a half advantage on them. Black Rouge today, yes, Black Rouge has won it from Let's Hurry second. A photo third, Hula Warrior or a Primacy. Close up with
Ridden by
Street
Neville
Ruffian.
Wilson, Black Rouge gave former jockey Alan Williams his first Group 1 success as a trainer. Black Rouge is the first Group 1 winner sired by Pro Video, a former Horse of the Year in England.
The feature race on the opening day of the Australian Jockey Club's Spring Carnival is the Weight for Age George Main Stakes. Tackling older horses for the first time, the 3-year-old March Hare showed a touch of class.
2.5 to Mahaya and 2.5 to Beatside as they come to the 700 metres mark, and they're going very fast up front. It's Prince of Praise, about 3/4 to March Hare, a length and a quarter to Soho Square, followed by Oppressor, Slight Chance on the fence, and then Tiakau Nick under pressure. Further back Deposition ridden along, followed by From the Park, and Mahaya and Beatside can't keep in touch. On the turn now, Prince of Praise the leader. March Hare on the outside is going comfortably up the rise. 2 lengths away, Soho Square taking a while to get going. Slight Chances under pressure. And then Deposition coming to the 200, and the 3-year-old March Hare exploded to the lead. March Hare dashed clear of Prince of Praise. Deposition's the danger, if any. Deposition coming after March Hare. March Hare just in front. Deposition on the outside is charging. Too late. March Hare wins it. March Hare wins the George Main ahead to Deposition. Slight Chance might get third in front of Soho
Ridden
Square.
by Larry Cassidy, March Hare broke the race record in winning the second Group 1 race of his career. Returning in the autumn, the 3-year-old recorded Group 1 placings in the Canterbury Guineas and the All-Age Stakes. If March Hare returns to racing as a 4-year-old, this son of Masqué should achieve further success at Group 1 level.
In the absence of March Hare, the Spring Champion Stakes attracted a well-balanced field of 3-year-olds who competed for prize money of $300,000.
Zaremba by 3/4 to Hunting a Kiss on the outside. A length away, Carla Max getting a perfect run. Mr. Door is one off the fence, also in a good spot. And then Fraternity, followed by Via Sewers, taking closer order. Further back, Arborea, then Matrina Man on the outside. And Constant Flight is last as they come to the bend at the 500 mark. And Zaremba giving plenty of cheek. Led by nearly 2 lengths on Carla Max. Hunting a Kiss is dropping off, followed by Fraternity. Mr. Door's under plenty of pressure, turning for home. And then Arborea, followed by Via Sewers. Over the rise, Zaremba still in front of Carla Max and Fraternity. Arborea on the fence, running on pretty well, followed by Mr. Door. As they come to the 200 mark, Zaremba tackled by Fraternity. Fraternity on the outside is the big danger to Zaremba. They're clear of Carla Max and Arborea. Fraternity's about a neck in front. Zaremba fighting on, but Fraternity's a bit too strong as they hit the line in the Champion Stakes. Or Zaremba has come again. Zaremba's kicked again, but it looks like Fraternity narrowly over Zaremba, who never knows when
Ridden
he's
by
beaten.
leading Queensland-based jockey Brian York, Fraternity recorded a last stride success in the Spring Champion Stakes. This son of champion New Zealand sire Starway is trained by Graham Begg at Randwick.
Just 40 minutes later in the Epsom Handicap, Fraternity's older brother, Telesto, very nearly completed a unique family double. The 4-year-old was beaten by Golden Sword, who produced one of the best performances seen over the Randwick Mile since the Great Superimpose.
In between them, Take the Road, followed by Kingston Bay, Ghost Story, Golden Sword, can't get on the track, on the fence Idea, and then Kenny's Best Pal, Flitters a long way back with Corndale, Deposition, Double Malt, Osmart and Telesto last of all. 700 out as they come to the turn. Prince of Praise, the leader from Quadado, Bella Snappers 3 deep on the corner, followed by Mighty Tango, W Bet, then Cohort, Take the Road, My Diamond Ruse, the Perfume Garden, further back Corndale, Idea on the fence, followed by Kenny's Best Pal and Ghost Story from Golden Sword. And taken to the extreme outside is Deposition as they come over the rise. It's Prince of Praise headed by Mighty Tango. Mighty Tango went to the lead. Quadado and Bella Snapper still there with Cohort coming right down the outside. Mighty Tango's in front from Quadado, Cohort, and look at Golden Sword. Telesto is bursting through near the fence, but Golden Sword does a mighty job to win the Epsom. Golden Sword beat the fast finishing Telesto, who came from last. Third, Quadado just in front of Mighty Tango, Cohort.
The Princess Series for 3 3-year-old fillies comprises 4 races, the final leg being the Group 1 Flight Stakes. Since its inception in 1980, no filly has been able to win the series, which this season carried a bonus of $200,000.
Over the crossing at the 800 mark, Fitting as the leader. Angsters now moved to second. Patty's Victory third. Out deep is Continental, followed by Lady in Need, Sibilant. Entrance moving up but pretty wide, followed by Honora de Balzac and then Lucy Rowe. Further back, Sashed, who's going forward from Road to Sky, Reign of Honour, Zeta Force, Futile, and Haley's Bella's last as they come around the corner. Now they're packing up. It's Fitting in front. Angst got to the girth of the leader. Sibilant taking off around the outside, but under plenty of pressure, followed by Entrance and then Patty's Victory, Lady in Need and Continental. Coming over the rise, Sibilant and Angst are the 2 leaders. They've kicked away from Entrance, followed by Fitting. Further back, Lady in Need and Patty's Victory, but Angst has burst away at the 200 mark, put a length and a half on Sibilant, followed by Fitting and then Patty's Victory. But this great grey filly from Newcastle, Angst, Sibilant pulling ground off her again in the run of the post, but Angst does it again. Angst beats Sibilant and Fitting has run third, wide out.
Sadly, the Flight Stakes would be the final racecourse appearance by the promising filly Angst. Several months later, the filly underwent minor surgery for a throat ailment, but later died following post-surgery complications. Angst was from the 3rd crop of Carla Dancer, whose previous Group 1 winner was the Melbourne Cup winner, Sub-Zero.
Down in Melbourne, New Zealand's best 3-year-old from last season made his Australian debut in the Turnbull Stakes. The Phantom Chance faced some strong opposition, including Naturalism, who was coming back into form.
As they came along to the 800, next in the field then came Innocent King over on the outside, being followed by Great Vintage on the rail. Back behind them, Tennessee Jack, 2 lengths to game, Ginty and Toy Image last of all. At the turn, 600 left to go, and Kiwi Golfer straightened up in front of Naturalism. Saracen behind them with the Phantom Chance. Wider out is Innocent King coming into it, and so is Reading when they thunder into the straight now. Kiwi Golfer went for home at the 500, a length and a half Naturalism under the whip. Wider out Reading, Saracen, the rail and the Phantom Chance trying to go for a run, and then Innocent King and Great Vintage is next under the whip. It's Naturalism racing up now to take the lead at the 200 from Kiwi Golfer, fighting back, and the Phantom Chance is on with a good run, but Naturalism's in front of Kiwi Golfer. The Phantom Chance the outside. Naturalism, the Phantom Chance is coming at him. The Phantom and Naturalism, oh, very close. I think the Phantom Chance knows Naturalism. Kiwi Golfer close up 3rd. Then
well, it certainly was an impressive debut by the Kiwi 4-year-old. Back in Sydney, the AJC completed their spring carnival with the running of the Metropolitan. On a soft track, the David Hayes-trained import Azam started favourite in this time-honoured race for stayers.
Azam is very awkwardly placed. He's well back on the fence, followed by Examination. Second last, Abstraction, and Salcantay last. Over the crossing at the 800 mark, Oppressor is a half length on Full of Dreams, followed by Moods. Never Say going forward. There's Mercator. Taking off right around the outside, making a fast run up towards the lead. To the 600 now, it's Oppressor, the leader over Full of Dreams. Mercator joining them, and right around the outside, Glastonbury taking off, going with him, Examination, and they're right across the track on the turn into the straight. Oppressor headed by Never Say. Mercator further out, Glastonbury and Examination. They've both come from a mile back. Coming over the rise now, Examination on the extreme outside took the lead from Glastonbury. Mercator, Deuce is coming through near the fence, and here's Salcantay from the tail of the field. Examination the leader inside the 200 mark. The lightweight Salcantay trying hard to pick him up, but Jimmy Cassidy, who's been wasting hard, it's going to pay off, and Examination holding them at bay as they get near home. Examination wins the Metropolitan. Azam has come from a mile back to get second. Salcantay 3rd, a big run at
revelling in the conditions, Examination produced a strong staying effort to record a comfortable win in the Metropolitan. Prepared by Vic Thompson at Warwick Farm, the 5-year-old gave Jim Cassidy the first of 4 Group 1 successes in season 93-94.
With 2 Group 1 wins late in his 2-year-old season, the Lee Freedman trained Mahogany had emerged as a young horse on the way up. After a Group 3 win in Sydney, Mahogany came to Melbourne, where he confirmed his potential with a comfortable victory in the Caulfield Guineas. Port Watch getting a nice run, second a length. Nipper winner, half further back, you remember. Mahogany on the inside of Waikika Moo Cow, getting up on the inside now. Magic of Money from Let's Cut Loose. 2 lengths further back, Voting, and they're followed by Star of Maple. Then further back, Hark Away from Pride of Rancho, Battlehawk. Well back, Kendall Star taken to the outside, followed by Taos. Battlehawk got knocked over there, and Ferragamo near the tail. Up to the bend they race Pearl Prince and Port Watch. Port Watch got the run up on the inside to join Pearl Prince, who's hanging off the track, and Mahogany is getting out when they turn it off the track. Kendall Star Star Mahogany's racing to Port Watch in the straight, and Mahogany ranged up to Port Watch now at the 250 from Let's Cut Loose, and then Kendall Star, and further back you remember Mahogany's got his head in front of Port Watch with 150 to go. It's the favourite drawing clear, Mahogany from Port Watch and Let's Cut Loose. Mahogany in front of the Guineas, he's got it won. Hull rides hard and Mahogany takes the Guineas. Mahogany a length and a quarter, Port Watch. Also returning to Melbourne was the Epsom Handicap winner Golden Sword. With stable jockey Stephen King back in the saddle, the 4-year-old contested the Toorak Handicap.
Back behind them, Golden Sword on the outside, following Never Under Charge up at the 800. Then Spring Hill Lad, followed by Major Decision, Italian Saint. One further back is My Sparkling Star in company with Antwerp, and Ancient Ritual is last of all. At the 600 peg, Black Rouge just the leader. Half a length in front now from Heroicity and Never Under Charge right there to challenge. 1-0 tucked in on the rail, and Golden Sword coming round the outside, still running on well. Followed by Station Hand, Major Decision, Italian Saint and Spring Hill Lad. Around the turn they come, and Never Under Charge strode to the lead from Black Rouge, Heroicity. Golden Sword right behind Never Under Charge, and then Station Hand. Never Under Charge at the 200, just the leader. Golden Sword coming after him on the outside. Then Black Rouge fighting back. It's Never Under Charge. Golden Sword coming at him strongly, and Azuro the fence. But Golden Sword goes home well on the outside. Shades of Gun Send. Golden Sword wins it by a length. Never Under Charge, I think, second a photo with Azuro. Close up Spring Hill Lad, Station Hand and Antwerp. Next was Ancient.
Not since the Great Gun Send back in 1971 had a horse won the Epsom and Toorak handicaps in the same season. An achievement that places Golden Sword in elite company. A son of the Group 1 winning Sir Tristram stallion Karpstad, Golden Sword went on to be placed in the Cox Plate and the George Ryder Stakes during the autumn. Following an unlucky run in the Doncaster handicap, Golden Sword was retired to Wakefield Stud in the Hunter Valley.
The Caulfield Stakes brought together one of the best fields of the season, including the favourite Viander Cross, Palace Rain, the Phantom Chance and Naturalism. With Damien Oliver back in the saddle, Naturalism produced a courageous performance to record his final win of his outstanding career.
At the 1,000, Tiako, Nick just the leader. 3/4 Slight Chance, the Phantom. A length and a half, the Phantom Chance. Fourth, the inside of our Tristolite. 2 lengths, our Pompeii Naturalism. 2 lengths further back is Sub-Zero and Reading, and then came Mannerism. A gap further back in the field then to Kenny's Pest, Pellier, Seattle, Castletown. Viander Cross is still second last, and last is Palace Rain. 600 left in it now. Down the side they come, and here are the moves with Slight Chance and the Phantom going up to join Tiako Nick. The Phantom Chance coming around them strongly, and then came out Tristolite. Naturalism just behind them, followed by Reading. Round the outside is Mannerism, and then our Pompeii. Viander Cross spotting them, a tidy start, hook to the outside. The Phantom Chance first for home. The Phantom is with him. The brothers turn in front of Slight Chance, Reading and Naturalism under the whip. Still well back is Viander Cross at the 200, and the Phantom in front of the Phantom Chance. Naturalism trying for a run between them. The Phantom Chance on the outside, and the Phantom. Naturalism diving in the centre. Here he comes, Naturalism. A great victory. Naturalism over the Phantom and the Phantom Chance. In behind them, our Pompeii, another nice run.
Throughout his career, Naturalism proved to be a class act while competing at racing's highest level. With prize money totalling $3.2 million, the 5-year-old retired to Sedgenho Stud as Australia's greatest stakes-winning stallion. A son of Palace Music, Naturalism's career highlights included a victory in the AJC Derby and a brave second in the 1992 Japan Cup.
One of the most talked about horses during the spring was the Bart Cummings-trained 4-year-old Great Vintage. Heavily supported with doubles bookmakers, the mare qualified for a start on the Caulfield Cup with a narrow but convincing win 1 week before the first leg of the Cup's double.
800 left to go. Landowner in front. He's come back to the field now. Half to 3/4 in front of Corchaban and Fra. Next is Beijing over on the outside from Diamond Bases. Frontier Boy wide out. Tall Emperor next, and there's Great Vintage coming round the outside. They're followed Native Zam, and they're followed by Young Pirate. Tennessee Jack off the track is coming into it within the event. Legiro second last, and Flagstaff. A bunched field at the turn. Corchaban and Fra in front with Star of the Realm and Frontier Boy wide out coming at them. Behind those is Great Vintage when they balance for home from Native Zam in the event. Tennessee Jack's the widest runner. Star of the Realm, Corchaban and Fra in front of Frontier Boy down the running at the 200. Great Vintage is lengthening and coming home. Frontier Boy, Star of the Realm, Fra, Corchaban. Here's in the event coming at them, but 5 or 6 chances. Great Vintage is coming through in the middle with a great run. Great Vintage and in the event. Great Vintage went home best and Great Vintage won from in the event. Great staying performance to score. Frontier Boy is third and there followed Corchaban, Tennessee Jack, Native Zam. Behind
The
them
second day of the VATC Spring Carnival features the running of the Fillies Classic, the 1,000 guineas. With Shane Dye in the saddle, the Sydney-trained Arborea broke the race record for the 1,600-metre journey.
Running to the 800-metre mark, and Eastern All the leader to Brompton Cross, Bella Serrata. Capchat travelling beautifully fourth, followed by Trivial Ass. Trista Love next over on the outside as they came down the side of the course here. They were followed further back in the field. Miss Minden trapped out wide at the 600. 2 lengths to Miss Bridie, Arborea, and then Rock Review. Well back Motown Blue and Burette Hardwritten going forward, and then Futile Springtane. Merrow's second last, and Rose Reward last of all. On the turn inside the 400, Eastern All will straighten up just in front here from Brompton Cross out the challenge and Capchat. Trista Love a little wider out, and Bella Serrata on the fence clear of Trivial Ass and Miss Bridia at the 200-metre mark now, and it's Capchat racing up to Brompton Cross. Bella Serrata the fence and Trista Love the outside. Capchat's in front down in the last 100 metres. Trista Love, and here's Arborea along the inside. Arborea's flashed home along the fence and Arborea won it from Capchat. Photo third, perhaps Rose Reward from Trista.
This season's $1 million Caulfield Cup attracted a quality field, with the George Hanlon-trained Our Pompeii and the Kiwi veteran The Phantom starting equal favourites. And of the 18 runners, no less than 14 had recorded previous wins at Group 1 level. The 2,400-metre race provided an exciting finish, with just 1 length covering the first 7 horses at the finish. And last of all, Examination. They've gone over the top of the hill. No change in the order, 11.50 metres to go. Saracen a length in front. Second is Kiwi Golfer from Our Tristolite, who's third on the outside of Our Pompeii. Dittman's given us a beautiful ride, Our Pompeii, fourth on the rail. 2 lengths further back is Euro. They're followed by the Phantom, following Our Pompeii, and further back in the race then Fra. A length into Sub-Zero. Further back Silk Alley, Great Vintage Field Officer. Examination taking off with Slangy Var, Castletown Mannerism, Air Seattle, Telesto. And last of all is Azam at the 600-metre mark, and it's Saracen a neck in front of Kiwi Golfer. A length further back around the outside, coming into it Fra, followed by a Zero. Over on the fence trying to get out is Our Pompeii. Here's Great Vintage putting in a run from Our Tristolite, dropping out, and further back then the Phantom getting into the clear. Homeward bound on the Caulfield Cup, Kiwi Golfer hit the front from Saracen, followed by Our Pompeii. Dittman trying desperately to get out. Then Fra, and down the outside the Phantom, and now Silk Ali getting a late run on the outside. Fra's hit the front from Kiwi Golfer and Our Pompeii. Fra in front of the Caulfield Cup. Our Pompeii, the Phantom, Air Seattle driving home, but it's Fra. Fra's won the Caulfield Cup from Air Seattle. A photo for third between the Phantom and Our Pompeii and Silk Ali. They're followed further back in the Caulfield Cup.
Starting at odds of 33 to 1, the imported Fra lasted to win the Cup and give popular jockey Peter Hutchinson, affectionately known as the Laughing Jockey, the biggest win of his career. Fra is a son of the Northern Dancer stallion Topsider, while his dam, a daughter of Seattle Slew, remains the most expensive yearling ever sold at auction. The Caulfield Cup was the first of 10 Group 1 winners trained by David Hayes in season 93-94.
In Australia and New Zealand, the Cox Plate is the race that racing purists hold in the highest regard. In the lead up to the Weight for Age Championship, the clash between arch rivals Naturalism and Viandacross attracted plenty of attention. But on race day, it was a new star who emerged to claim the title. And the Elite 9 are set for the Cox Plate. The light is on, they're racing. And away they go, Viandacross not brilliant away, and first out Phantom Chance near the inside, away fast Kiwi Golfer. Solvent going up on the inside of him, and the 2 New Zealanders in front at the early point of the race. At the winning post now, and Solvent goes 2 lengths in front, Kiwi Golfer second, 3 to Slight Chance. Palace Rain away from the fence, and the Phantom Chance had to ease, win 3 deep. 2 lengths further back, Naturalism inside him, Viandacross a length and a half, then to Golden Sword, and last of all is Never Undercharged. Down the side they go, 1600 out. And the leader is Solvent. Solved by 3.5 lengths now to Kiwi Golfer. 4 lengths further back, Palace Rain on the outside of Slight Chance the Rail. 3 further back, the Phantom Chance, and they're followed on the outside of him by Naturalism. A length further back, then Viander Cross from Golden Sword and Never Under Charge on the rail. Solved getting his own way at the 1200 metre mark, and the plate led 3.5 Kiwi Golfer. 4 Palace Rain a length then. 2 Slight Chance, 2 further back, the Phantom Chance running 5th. 2 to Naturalism right behind him. Viander Cross inside Naturalism, a length and a half to Golden Sword. And last of all is Never Under Charge. 1,000 out at the halfway mark in the Cox Plate. And the Kiwi Galloper in front, Solved, striding out by 4 lengths. Second is Kiwi Golfer, 3 to Palace Rain. A length further back, Slight Chance, a half on the outside of him is the Phantom Chance. 2 lengths to Naturalism, 8 off the lead. 2 lengths behind Naturalism, Golden Sword. Inside him now is Viander Cross, and they're followed by Never Under Charge. 6.50 out, Kiwi Golfer, the first one to go out after Solved. He's 3/4 behind. 2 further back then in the race, the Phantom Chance. Palace Rain hard ridden. Naturalism in a pocket. Golden Sword's gone around him. Viander Cross can't get out, but Solved the leader now at the 400 metre mark. The Phantom Chance with a run out wide coming into it. So's Golden Sword, followed by Kiwi Golfer, a gap to Naturalism, hard ridden, and Viander Cross is last, but the Phantom Chance out wide. Races to Solved on the turn on the Cox Plate. 2 to Golden Sword, followed by Kiwi Golfer. Naturalism, I don't think can get up from there, but out wide the Phantom Chance has hit the front of the Cox Plate. A half in front of Solved, then Golden Sword. The Kiwi takes the plate. It's the Phantom Chance. The Phantom Chance a length and a half, Solved. Golden Sword, I think, has just got third in front of Naturalism. Then Viander Cross, and further back in the race, Kiwi Golfer. A gap to Slight Chance, followed by Never Under Charge.
Ridden by Bobby Vance, the Phantom Chance stamped his authority over the Cox Plate field with a decisive victory. For the 4-year-old son of Noble Bijou, this was his 3rd success at Group 1 level and the 10th of his career. After running in the Japan Cup, the Phantom Chance bypassed the Autumn Carnivals and was later transferred to trainer Lee Friedman, who'll prepare this classy galloper for a repeat success in next season's Cox Plate. 14 years before the Phantom Chance's win in the Weight for Age Championship of Australasia, one of Australia's greatest horses of the post-war era won the first of his 3 consecutive Cox Plates. His name, Kingston Town. His jockey that year, Malcolm Johnson.
But the real Kingston Town's going to street them, and Kingston Town's gone on to win by 4 lengths. Second, Prince Ruling, our Paddy Boy third.
Malcolm Johnson burst onto the Sydney racing scene in the mid-70s. In 1975, he won his first Group 1 race on Rosie Air, a horse trained by his master, Theo Green. Tagged Miracle Mel by the media, Johnson won the first of his 3 Sydney premierships as an apprentice at the age of 19. Just 2 years later, the pin-up boy of Sydney racing took on the job of #1 rider for the powerful Tommy Smith stable.
I started at Tommy's when I was 21 years of age, after I came out of my time with Theo Green. And it was an experience, all I'm saying. It was tough. I went to my old boss, Theo Green, and he said that he thought that I was too young to handle it, but at 21, you really think you can take on the world, and I undoubtedly thought I could handle it. Looking back on it, I wish I had have taken the job on when I was 31 years of age instead of 21, because the pressure in those days of riding for the #1 stable in Australia was tough. I thought I could handle it, but as it turned out, I couldn't.
Undoubtedly, Johnson's association with the champion Kingston Town was the highlight of his career. The Black Horse and Miracle Mel combined to win 25 races, an amazing record.
He was just a freak of a horse. I'll never see another one like him, because you know, he could win from 6 furlongs to 2 mile in the same preparation, and he could do it consistently.
While Johnson's partnership with Kingston Town provided many of the highlights of his career in the saddle, the talented jockey's competitiveness often landed him in trouble. With nearly 50 suspensions to his name, Johnson's will to win was a major factor in his regular trips to the steward's room. In September 1993, Malcolm Johnson announced his retirement, and racegoers saw Miracle Mel in action at Randwick for the last time. And like he'd done throughout his career, the popular jockey gave punters a good run for their money with his last ride.
Zaremba's in front, coming to the 200 mark. Carla Max the first to go after him. Mighty Mal on Zaremba. He's a length in front of Carla Max. Irish Joke on the outside. Zaremba kicking. Carla Max is the danger. Carla Max is coming at him now. Zaremba, Carla Max, they're coming to the line. Absolutely locked together. Rotten luck, Mal. Carla Max on the outside. Got up to tip out Zaremba in the last stride.
Malcolm Johnson was a great personality for racing during his time in the saddle. And through a new business venture, Miracle Mel will now maintain an association with the sport he loves.
With Australasia's best horses showcased on Derby Day, the opening day of the Victoria Racing Club Spring Carnival is certainly a highlight of the season. Coming off her win in the 1,000 Guineas, Arborea produced another winning performance in the Wakeful Stakes.
And they are at the 800 metre mark. Sparkling Fun from Merrow, and Arborea is last of all, running up to approach the turn now. The Wakeful field has a little over 600 to go, and Alcove is going to corner just in front of Bundafai, and Barbadian hooked out for a crack at them now. Eastern Ore is just behind these horses, followed by Swift Falcon when they run into the straight. Then came Sibilant under the whip. Further back, No Fibbing, Presage, Asdarf is next, and well back Fine Recipe under the whip. 300 to go, and Alcove still in front of Eastern Ore and Barbadian. Swift Falcon is next. The runs haven't come from the rear yet. Fine Recipe, Sibilant battling, and Arborea is down the centre of the course. 150 out, still Alcove has it from Swift Falcon. Look at Arborea flashing home. Alcove in front. Arborea, Fine Recipe, Rose Rewarder closing. Alcove still in front. Arborea coming hard. Don't know. Arborea maybe from Alcove. There's very, very little in it right on the line, wide apart. Fine Recipe maybe third from Rose Reward. Another photo there. Swift Falcon.
In the Gadsden Stakes, a star-studded field of 22 sprinters faced the starter for the charge down Flemington's famous straight six. At the finish, just over 2 lengths covered the first 10 horses past the post.
It's over towards the flat side of the course, 900 left to go. Royal Discard going quickly, work to the lead now. Gold Bros is moving up to second on the outside of it, and Mukhtar is just behind them, followed by Awesome Force, Primacy and Prince Ackerman just behind these horses as they come to the 700 crossing, and the flatter in front here with Royal Discard against the rail, in front of Gold Bros, and just behind them Prince Ackerman, Awesome Force, Mukhtar, then Primacy, followed by Big Dreams and Keltrice, not related, and Alishan over on the grandstand side, and Sportsworks is clearly in front here. It's about a length in front of Friends Venture, Draft Choice and Gatana over on the flat now, and here are the runs coming. Keltrice after the leaders, Gold Bros and Royal Discard, and Alishan is running on from Primacy. Sportsworks well in front on the grandstand side. There's not much between the divisions now, and it's Sportsworks in front on the grandstand, but it's Alishan, Keltrice and Primacy. It's Alishan on the outside going home the best, and Alishan's won it from Keltrice. Third's a photo, Primacy over on the inside.
Trained by David Hayes, Alishan recorded the most important win of his career in the Gadsden Stakes. The 6-year-old's success lifted his stake earnings to just under $500,000 and gave jockey Greg Hall his second Group 1 win for the season.
Despite some doubts about his staying ability following a defeat over 2,000 metres at Moonee Valley, Mahogany started a warm favourite in the Victoria Derby. Those doubts were short-lived when Mahogany produced a brilliant burst of acceleration to win the Classic by the biggest winning margin since Tulloch in 1957.
And the tempo is set by Pride of Rancho, the sire's winner, led by about a length to Carla Max, a length Mahogany, who's had a charmed run, the favourite. Next is Kendall Star, a length and a half to Magwan, Battlehawk, and then Fraternity ridden along. One Locum Tenens, trailed then by Zaremba. Next is Let's Cut Loose, followed by Military Action, Regal Archery. A fair way back still is Shelved, and then Paxmet Will over on the outside from Star of Somerset. Cloudy Star is second last or third last, followed by Waikikamu Cow and Ice Doctor last of all. Into the straight, 500 metres to go now. They straighten up in the Derby. Pride of Rancho grabbed by Carla Max and Mahogany. Mahogany's eased out for a crack at the leaders and went to the lead at the top of the straight now. Mahogany dashed away at the 400. Hall kicked him out by 2 or 3 lengths now from Carla Max Magwan. Kendall Star is on the outside. No run. Zaremba. Regal Archery trying for a run, but Mahogany. Hall went for the whip at the 200. 5 in front. It's all over. Regal Archery and Shelved are running on with Waikikamu Cow, but Mahogany blitzes them in the Derby. Magnificent win, Mahogany by 7 lengths on the post. Shelved second. Waikikamu Cow got up for third from Regal Archery, and they were followed in by Let's Cut Loose. Behind
The fourth Group 1 success of Mahogany's career confirmed his rating as Australia's best 3-year-old and lifted his stake earnings to $1.25 million. We'll see more of Mahogany in action during his autumn campaign. The McKinnon Stakes attracted a class field, several of which were having their final lead-up to the Melbourne Cup. The runners included the Cox Plate winner, the Phantom Chance, and his older brother, the Phantom, who had run a great third in the Caulfield Cup. With Jim Cassidy in the saddle, it was the Phantom who recorded a dashing win.
Down the side, about 8.50 to go. Solvit led the Phantom by about a length and a half. Slight Chances third. A length away, Landowner, followed by Fra and the Phantom Chance out 3 wide. One further back is Naturalism, Cavalieri out, Tristalite, and then Viander Cross, better than midfield to the turn, followed by Our Pompeii and Deuce. Great Vintage Azam, well back in the field here as they sweep into the straight. Over on the outside, Star of the Realm and Castletown. Into the straight, less than 500 to go. Solvit a length and a half in front of the Phantom, and Landowner over on the rail, followed by Slight Chance. Fra is running on, and then came the Phantom Chance, and here comes Naturalism now. He's coming with a run, and well back still is Viander Cross. The Phantom hit the front at the 200 from Solvit. Naturalism is battling along strongly, although hanging in on Fra, but the Phantom is well clear. The Phantom's race 4 in front of Fra and Naturalism, and the Phantom, a magnificent winner. The Phantom has won it by 3 lengths to Fra, a half head to Naturalism third. Then
as a result of this win, the Phantom became a popular choice in the Melbourne Cup, behind the favourite Our Pompeii. However, plans to run Viander Cross in the Cup were abandoned following the 5-year-old's disappointing run. The arrival of Drum Taps and Vintage Crop from the Northern Hemisphere added a new dimension to this season's $2 million Foster's Melbourne Cup, and the international challenges attracted plenty of media attention in the weeks leading up to the famous race. Although their form in England and Ireland was first class, it was difficult to assess the chances of these challengers given the circumstances surrounding their pioneering journey. It was a different story on Cup Day, however, when a sensational betting plunge on the English horse Drum Taps saw his odds tumble from 14 to 1 to 6 to 1. With Melbourne's inclement spring weather producing 2 inches of rain on Cup Eve, the Flemington track was rated as heavy for what was to be a history-making Melbourne Cup.
Stalls are locked. The field is set. They're ready. They're off. And on the inside, Azam bounced out quickly and jumping out fast. Silk Ali down on the inside. From the outside, our Tristalite bounced out fast with Fra and also the Phantom. Inside, it's Slight Chance and Our Pompeii going up quickly, followed by Tiakau Nick and Frontier Boy. And there goes Maracas. Maracas in front, and Drum Taps is up running second in the early point of the race, and Vintage Crop is on the rail. Crowding from the outside now. Fra coming over quickly is racing up towards the stablemate. And Fra in front now at the 400-metre mark the first time in the Cup. Led by a length and a half, and there's the Phantom up second. Third is Maracas. Tiakau Nick fourth, and Drum Tap, it's Vintage Crop. The imports are nice and handy from our Tristalite. Our Pompeii, and further back then came Young Pirate. Silk Ali is fighting with the rider. Then Slight Chance, Frontier Boy Boy, Field Officer, further back Tennessee Jack. Then came Ultimate Aim on the outside from Cavalieri, Sub-Zero. Further back is Air Seattle, Great Vintage, followed by Dancing Lord, Castletown, Azam, our Mercator, and last of all, Diamond Bases. They've gone to the judge with a lap to go, and Tiakau Nick took over in front. Tiakau Nick out of the straight with 2,200 metres to go, leads in the Melbourne Cup by a length and a half. Frontier Boy is second, and third on the fence is Fra. A length into the Phantom running fourth, one off the fence, a half. Marrakesh fifth. Drum Taps has gone up sixth, and out three deep is out Tristolite at the 2,000. 2 lengths further back, Vintage Crop. Out Pompeii, three deep. On the fence, Silk Ali, a length and a half to Young Pirate. Slight Chance, three wide on the inside, Tennessee Jack, a half to Field Officer. Locked away as the grey Sub-Zero on the inside, a Great Vintage, and they're followed further back in the cup by Ultimate Aim, out three deep. A length and a half further back, Cavalieri. Then Dancing Lord, one to Azam, Air Seattle, Mercator, followed by Castletown, and the Bolter, Diamond Bases, last of all at the halfway mark, 1,600 metres to go. In the cup of 93, and the leader, Tiakau Nick, led by a length, two on the outside, Frontier Boy, 2 lengths to Marrakesh third. The Phantom is up running fourth, a neck away, one off the rail, a length for the back, Marrakesh. Drum Taps running sixth on the outside. They're followed by our Tristolite, Silk Ali. In the middle is Vintage Crop, a length and a half further back, Tennessee Jack, our Pompeii, still three deep. In the middle is Young Pirate. They're followed further back in the race now by Sub-Zero. He's got a wall of horses in front of him at the moment. Around the outside of him goes Slight Chance. They're followed further back by Dancing Lord, Great Vintage, Ultimate Aim, Mercator, Azam. Well back Castletown, Air Seattle, and Diamond Bases. 1,000 to go. They clap the speed on. And the leader is Tiakau Nick, neck in front now, a Frontier Boy. 3 or 4 further back, Fra and the Phantom. 2 lengths to Drum Taps at the 850 metre mark from Marrakesh. Vintage Crop and Silk Ali a fair way back. They're followed by our Pompeii. Try to get out as Tennessee Jack from Field Officer, pulled out deep. Then Slight Chance followed by Young Pirate. Sub-Zero giving the leaders 15 lengths start as Frontier Boy ranges up to Tiakau Nick on the home turn. They're running for home in the Melbourne Cup, and Tiakau Nick near the inside, a length in front of Frontier Boy. 2 to Marrakesh, 2 lengths further back, Fra. Then the Phantom followed by Tennessee Jack into the clear down the outside, followed by Mercator. Our Pompeii can't go on from Great Vintage. Tiakau Nick the leader at the 300 from on the outside, Frontier Boy, and here's Vintage Crop. Vintage Crop. The Irish horse emerging now. Vintage Crop is cutting down Tiakau Nick. It's an Irish victory. Vintage Crop has hit the lead from Tiakau Nick and Mercator, and Vintage Crop has taken the Melbourne Cup. Vintage Crop has won by 2.5. It's a photo for second, Tiakau Nick or Mercator for second.
The good judges said you could win, the good judges said you couldn't win. But you had a good run all the way?
Yeah, nice run. I was following Frankie on Drum Taps, and Frankie suddenly dropped away before the home, and once I got the racing room, I was happy, you know. I was always going to win then.
Yeah, Mike, it's opened up the Melbourne Cup to the world now, isn't it? An international race.
Ah, well, the country's becoming a small place, I think, and it's the right way. It makes everything...
I think it is, and also that we've a $2 million race. Is this your biggest one?
I think it's close to it, yes. It is, because it's today.
Well, mate, this is going to be one of the most memorable times you'll ever have in any country you've ridden in. So you better go in there, enjoy it, and good luck, mate, and it's nice to see you. See the cup go overseas, and so hopefully next year we've got a lot more of you guys over here.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks, Mike.
Oh, it was a great day for Ireland, and I just want to thank everybody for their help and everybody here in Australia who's made me very welcome.
How confident were you going into the race?
I was quietly confident. When the 2 inches of rain came last night, I was concerned. The horse did lose 7 kilos travelling out here, which is considerable, but he put it back on, and on Sunday morning when he worked, I was very pleased with him.
Did you take any heart to the criticism that was given about the preparation and the fact that it wasn't the Australian way?
That doesn't worry me at all. I've trained winners all over the world, so I'm used to criticism, but I do it my way, and I'm quite happy.
Ridden to perfection by Ireland's champion jockey Mick Kinnan, Vintage Crop's historic Melbourne Cup victory was acclaimed around the world. It was a success that heralded the arrival of the Cup as a truly international event. Having proven that Northern Hemisphere trained horses can travel to Australia and be competitive, trainer Dermot Weld plans to return for the '94 Spring Carnival with horses for the Melbourne Cup and the Cox Plate.
Irish eyes were certainly smiling after Vintage Crop's memorable win in the Melbourne Cup. The feature race on the third day of the carnival is the Oaks. With wins in the 1,000 Guineas and the Wakefield Stakes, Arborea started a warm favourite to complete the Triple Crown for fillies.
Oaks Day's last of all. They head to the 1,000-metre mark with Eastern Ore in front. Sibilant sits astern by a length and a half. Then Barmin Gilead having a nice run over on the inside. Going forward is Shellacking about a length further back. Give Me a Buzz, Fine Recipe. Then Trivia Lass, Arborea over on the fence as they go to the 800. Followed by Diamond Gypsy, Rose Reward, and last is Oaks Day still. They're coming up to approach the home turn now. They've got about 650 metres to go in the Oaks, and Eastern Ore just the leader from Sibilant and Shellacking. Barmin Gilead just behind them. Arborea not far away when they set sail for home, and Fine Recipe to the outside. Rose Reward the widest runner. They've less than 500 to go now. Barmin Gilead got up on the inside to hit the front from Eastern Ore. Arborea's coming with her run now. She is starting to motor home, and Trivial Ass down the outside from Fine Recipe. At the 300, Barmin Gilead over on the inside in front, but about to be grabbed by Arborea. Oaks Day's running on well down the outside, but Arborea's hit the front with 100 metres to go from Oaks Day, and then Trivial Ass, but it's Arborea clear of Oaks Day, and Arborea's going on to win the Oaks. Arborea, the favourite, wins at 2 lengths to Oaks Day second. Give Me a Buzz has got up for third, 2.5 away, and then Trivial Ass, Fine Recipe, Rose.
Trained by Clary Connors, Arborea dominated the Fillies Classics during the spring. This daughter of the Sir Ivor Stallion Imperial Prince returned in the autumn to win twice at Group 2 level before running fourth in the Australian Derby. A lightly framed filly, Arborea should furnish into a stronger mare, and a race such as the Caulfield Cup is well within her capabilities next season.
Following a close-up third to stablemate Elishan in the Gadsden Stakes, the David Hayes-trained Primacy stepped up to 1,600 metres for the Nissan Stakes on the final day of the carnival.
Followed by Deposition, Excited Angel. 2 or 3 lengths further back is Cabura, Telesto, Italian Saint, and Osmarta's last of all. At the turn of the Nissan, 600 left to go now. Station Hand on the inside, just in front of Firo. In behind those horses into the straight then is Primacy, and they're followed by Terrari. Next to Zuro, followed by Spring Hill Lad and Cogitate. Wider out, Valdezere given full bore, and then Ghost Story and Burstus looking for a way through, followed by Carson's Cash. At the 300-metre mark, and Firo hit the front with Primacy along the inside. Then Terrari, followed by Corndale. Further back in the field, Valdezere and Excited Angel, but Primacy got a length in front of Firo. Telesto along the inside. Primacy in front. Excited Angel flashing home out wide. Primacy's won it. Primacy. Excited Angel, I think, second from Firo, and no room. Telesto on the fence.
Primacy's first Group 1 success of the season was full of merit. We'll see more of this honest sprinter miler later in the programme. It was certainly a Cup Carnival full of highlights, which included 5 wins each for trainer John Maher and jockey Stephen King on the final day. We'll cross to New Zealand now, where the training team of Dave and Paul O'Sullivan won the first of their 7 Group 1 races for the season at Riccarton.
Round the far turn they go, and La Vicious is followed by Covered in Grey. The youngies on its inner, giving a little bit of ground. Girardet in the centre, getting past it now is Thrilling Day. It's followed around the outside by Calzone and Snaps in the centre. On the fence, Sabbatical. It's followed by Silver Chalice, Dozen Roses, and last of all is Gold Forever. Heading for home, 500 metres to go in the Guineas, and Waihora's Lass in front by about 2 lengths now. Covered in Grey is coming to it quickly. La Vicious back on the inside, starting to show up on the outside as Thrilling Day, and Snap has been brought to the outside by Lance O'Sullivan. Just in behind those, trying to wind up as the youngie. They get to the distance. They've got to Waihora's Lass, and Snap has bolted to the front. It's Snap in front from Thrilling Day and Covered in Grey, then Waihora's Lass and the youngie, and further back Sabbatical. But Snap's got this one in the bag, goes to the line to win the Guineas this year, and it's Snap in front. Thrilling Day is running to second. Covered in Grey was third.
The classy Facing the Music bypassed the Fillies Classic to tackle the Colts in the 2000 Guineas. Coming from last on the home turn, the filly unleashed a powerful sprint to claim victory.
Old Time is a half a length away, and Facing the Music biding her time at the tail of the field, 2 lengths behind the bunch. Round the turn, 700 out now, and the leader still Secret Wave by about 1.25 lengths from Covered in Grey. Mick Nichols has the rails run sharp. 10 Heights is poised on the outside as they come up towards the turn. Makapura Star starting to show up, and in behind those runners then they were followed by Good Form. Magnet Bay was next and facing the music, looking to thread a path through. There's not a lot of room yet. And Old Timer inside the 300 metres, covered in grey in front. Shartin Heights now under the stick and wider out to Makapura Star, and facing the music, starting to chime in wider on the track. It's Makapura Star, covered in grey, Shartin Heights, and facing the music. The filly's got to the front, 50 metres to go, and in the guineas it's going to be the filly facing the music wins it. Makapura Star and Shartin Heights in the photo for second.
Facing the music is only the second filly to win the 2,000 guineas in New Zealand. The filly is the third individual Group 1 winner for her sire Sackford, who now stands at Inverness Stud in New South Wales.
Facing the Music and the 1,000 guineas winner Snap then clashed in the Bayer Classic. Following heavy rain, the Leven Racing Club was forced to transfer their annual Group 1 meeting to Otaki. Conditions there were not that much better, and in a slogging finish, Al Akbar grabbed a narrow victory.
The Bayer field down the side of the course, 650 metres to go, and it's Vaxman. Vaxman leading now from Waihora's Lass. The Salvor Country Talk with Al Akbar. Getting up in behind them now is going to be Facing the Music, and Snap starting to come around them as well with Western Red. The Bayer field at the turn at the 450 metres. And here Waihora's Lass has gone up to Vaxman Country Talk. Al Akbar wider out behind them. Here's Snap, Western Red. Facing the Music's in behind these, looking for room. Al Akbar's in front at the 300 metres. Facing the Music coming after him on the inside, as to Waihora's Lass, Western Red, and Snap down the outside. Al Akbar facing the music, the inside, Western Red, and Snap right down the outside. Al Akbar facing the music, Western Red's trying to pick them up out wider. Al Akbar's Western Red, and facing the music, Al Akbar's Bayer. Al Akbar and a bobber. Very, very close.
In a tight finish, Al Akbar nosed out Western Red for a gutsy win in the Bayer Classic. The 3-year-old later campaigned in Australia and struck success in the Group 2 Canterbury Stakes. Al Akbar is the first Group 1 winner for the American-bred stallion Success Express, who stands at the famous Widden Stud in the Hunter Valley.
The Avondale Cup attracted a very good field, and of the 18 starters, only one had not been placed or won in group company. The odd horse out was Tethy's, who was having his first start at Group 1 level.
Out by 5 lengths to Tethy's, a length on the outside, then to Bayer Wolf, all in fun. The favourites going beautifully on the inside next. There followed Kingston Bay, then we've got Pearlier Bay from Lurk. On the outside to Ali Boy, Newbury Star on the outside, then to Eagle Eye making the bend. They're followed then by Major Decision, Core Reception, Prince Alibi under the stick, Rentino. They're homeward bound, 420 left to go, and Major and Melka on the inside is the leader, 2 lengths on Tethy's. All in Fun's coming out after them, followed by Lurk. Further back then we've got Pearlier Bay. All in Fun have moved up on the outside of Tethy's, followed by Melka. Lurk's emerging out of the ruck, and they're followed by Pearlier Bay. All in Fun, the outside, and Tethy's there knuckling down. Lurk is coming in pretty stoutly, and Prince Alibi's flying home. Tethy's in front of the Radio Pacific Avondale Cup, and Tethy scored second at the line. Photos, Lurk or All in Fun or Lurk, and right between them, Ali Boy.
Prepared at Matamata by Roger James, Tethy's is the first Group 1 winner for his sire King's Island. Ridden by Vin Colgan, the 5-year-old ran a national record time for the 2,200 metre journey.
Logan's for horse insurance. Logan's lead the way in all types of thoroughbred insurance and are on call 24 hours. Most of Australia and New Zealand's leading studmasters and owners rely on Logan's for their insurance requirements. Principal Bob Logan is well known and respected throughout the industry. Logan's, always on the scene, so you'll never be in a spot. Ring the experts. Logan's. Their 24-hour hotline number is 02 909 1499.
His nerves are a wreck, cause it's his bloomin' neck. He's depending on you to get the package through. It's just gotta be there, but no one seems to care. You know you're not alone, just pick up the phone. Say hello, Comet. Hello, say hello, Comet. Say hello, 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 Comet. Right across Australia or just across the town, Comet never lets you down. Say hello, 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 Comet.
The West Australian Turf Club's Summer Carnival commences in November, with the Diabetes Stakes being the first of their Group 1 events. Past winners of this race include Family of Man, Kingston Town and Better Loosen Up, an impressive trio. This season's winner may not be in their class, but Credit Account is certainly a mare with plenty of ability.
800 to go. It's Top Villain by a length and a half. Double Dignity and Competitive Spirit. 1.5 Instrumental, a length and a quarter on the inside. Wabasso. El Cordero making ground from My Lady's Jewel and Anniversary Model. One to Prime Again. Credit Account locked away near the inside. Being followed by Advise Me. Welcome Night win for an inside run from Yoganji Gold. And Silver Tongue last at the 450. Top Villain will lead for home on the bend. A half a length from Double Dignity and Competitive Spirit. El Cordero goes up wide around the outside with Wabasso, followed by Welcome Night. Prime Again taken wide from My Lady's Jewel and Credit Account. 250 to go, and Double Dignity has got to the front from Top Villain. Wabasso along the inside comes Credit Account. Credit Account finishing brilliantly. Race to the lead from Double Dignity. Top Villain and Credit Account wins by 2. Double Dignity and Top
Given a
Villain.
rails-hugging ride by local jockey Mark Miller, the mare lodged Group 1 winner number 4 into the Credit Account of trainer David Hayes. The 4-year-old is a daughter of the deceased stallion Imposing, sire of the champion Superimpose.
First run in 1972, when Diana was the inaugural winner, the West Australian Turf Club's Australian Derby is no longer with us. Also gone by the wayside is the Western Australian Derby, a classic first run in 1888. Taking the place of these races is the new-look WATC Derby, which maintains Group 1 status.
Leaders bunch up as they come with 700 to go, where Competitive Spirit joined by Erupt. Firing Rangers got right up on the inside. They're followed then by El Cordero, going right around the outside onto the home turn now as they make the bend. Looming up deep out there was Fancy Chance. Right behind them, Native Pilgrim, followed by Vagabond Boy, and wider out around the home turn as they make the corner. Lewin Concert from Num Sing, but Firing Range the Grey hit the front. 300 to go from Native Pilgrim. 2 lengths to Fancy Chance, followed by Vagabond Boy, Lewin Concert and El Cordero. It's Firing Range and Native Pilgrim. It's a 2-horse war. Firing Range on the inside, Native Pilgrim the outer. Firing Range lifting, and Firing Range has won. A half head from Native Pilgrim. 5 lengths to Vagabond Boy, third.
Ridden by Paul Dyson, Firing Range produced a strong staying performance to win the Derby. The 3-year-old was the second Group 1 winner of the season for his sire Carla Dancer, who stands at Wakefield Stud.
One of the 5 winners from the O'Sullivan stable at Ellerslie on Boxing Day was the filly Popsy. Not since Tidal Light in 1986 had New Zealand's Derby been won by a filly, which makes Popsy's effort against the Colts all the more outstanding.
Ranches got back on the inside. Silent March commences a run 2, followed Eastern Alliance, Popsy and Soundwave, but round the turn they come. New Zealand Herald, Derbyfield goes for home. Western Red the inside. Sharton Heights put its head in front, and it's kicked about a half on Western Red, followed by Tristalad. Seascape, the favourite, winding up centre track. There followed Catalan Gold, Gold Star, and a late run from Popsy down the outside. Sharton Heights in front and clear. 2 lengths on Seascape. Popsy's coming home pretty well. Western Red, Sharton Heights in front of Seascape and Popsy. Sharton Heights out wide, Popsy going to it on the outside. Popsy got it. Second home photo, Sharton Heights or Seascape.
With her Derby victory, Popsy becomes the 39th individual Group 1 winner from the world champion sire, Sir Tristram. The O'Sullivan stable was really firing over the 4 days of the Auckland Racing Club's Summer Carnival. And on New Year's Day, they plundered a further 2 Group 1 victories. The 4-year-old mare Miltac got the ball rolling in the Auckland Cup.
As they race towards a corner, the favourite Miltac's back on the inside and about 9 off them as they charge towards a turn round the bend. 450 to go, and Artie Boy grabbed the lead in the cup from Tethy's and Melco. Out wide of the Starring and Prince Hayes. Miltac, the favourite, starting to wind up. There followed Ultimate Aim, and down the outside Romantic Lass, and Ace of Luck is threading its way through. Tethy's has ranged up on the outside of Artie Boy. Here comes the favourite Miltac out after them with the winning run. They're followed then by Discard, who's flashing home along the inside. Lance O'Sullivan and Miltac, and Miltac is going to score in the DB Draft Auckland Cup of 94. Photo second, Discard on the inside, Tethy's on the outer. They're followed
Lance
by
O'Sullivan had few worries aboard Miltac, who was later to achieve Group 1 success in Australia. In the railway handicap for sprinters, Lance O'Sullivan and Ensign Hewitt overcame a wide barrier to complete a successful day for the family.
Round the bend they come in the railway handicap, and Not So the filly kicked about 2.5 on the favourite Ensign Hewitt, who's now starting to gobble into its lead. About 3 lengths to Jade Moon. There followed Ali Fiesta. In behind them, Regal Result. Dionera looking to get clear with Lord Triton and Silverflower down the outside. Ensign Hewitt dash to the front, 1.5 lengths now. On the outside, Dionera's coming quickly with Not So and Lord Triton. Ensign Hewitt, Dionera ranging up on the outside with on the inside as they go towards the line. No, he held them all out, Ensign Hewitt. Photo second between Lord Triton and Dionera. Then Javelin rattled home. Not So from Jade Moon.
Having only the 14th start of his career, Ensign Hewitt graduated to Group 1 company with a sustained display of speed. The 4-year-old son of the Biscay Stallion famous Star completed a successful carnival for the O'Sullivans.
There was some great racing at Ellerslie over the summer, and the final Group 1 race was no exception. Attracting the strongest weight for age field seen in New Zealand for some time, the Auckland Classic was won in a tight finish by All In Fun.
So they approach the 600. It's Captain Cook, 1.5 lengths to solve it. Grey Fluke lying third in getting the run. The Phantom on the outside, followed Ashless Prince, then All In Fun on the outside, then to Sharton Heights. In behind them, Christiania Bell, Eastern Alliance, Surfers Paradise, Moiray and Lord Majestic, Whitford Hill. And last as they turn into Castletown. Down the straight, 350 left to go. It's Captain Cook. They're right across the track here. Sharton Heights and All In Fun coming into it with the Phantom, Grey Fluke and Ashless Prince and Solve It. In behind them, Surfers Paradise, but All In Fun hit the front. The Sharton Heights, the Phantom followed by Grey Fluke and Captain Cook out wide of Surface Paradise. All In Fun's in front of the favourite, the Phantom and Sharton's Heights. All In Fun in front, and All In Fun won it. Second at the line is the Phantom followed by Sharton Heights third. Solvit then out wide on the track.
The Auckland Classic was a career highlight for All In Fun, one of the most consistent horses of the season 93-94 in New Zealand. The 4-year-old is one of 7 live foals from the first crop of Alleged Dash, an unraced son of the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe winner, Alleged.
Across in Western Australia, the 1,600-metre railway handicap was won by the widely travelled Zapari, who was coming off a win in Sydney.
A length away behind them then, Zapari over on the inside rail, followed by Siderian Palarain, Creditor Counter, face the odds to Ryer and Jev Action on the bend, 4.50 to go, and as Blue Boss by the head from Classy Dresser Prime again, Double Dignity looking for a clear run, Asian Incline going wide from Welcome Night, then Sir Tinker and Zapari getting a run near the inside, Classy Dresser 200 to go, took the lead from Blue Boss, here's Zapari, Sir Tinker, Asian Incline is down the outside, Asian Incline, Sir Tinker, and Zapari. Zapari puts his head in front, and Zapari wins the railway from Sir Tinker and Asian
Providing
Incline.
trainer Steve McKinnon with his first Group 1 success, the veteran Zapari took his tally of career wins to 14 in the railway handicap. Plagued by injuries throughout his career, the 7-year-old had just one more race before being retired. Purchased for $8,500 as a yearling, Zapari returned his connections in excess of $460,000 in prize money over 6 seasons of racing.
Back in New Zealand, the Wellington Racing Club's summer carnival got underway at Trentham. The O'Sullivans were back in the limelight once again when Snap won the Oaks to complete the Fillies Classic double.
A bit of a packing field in the Oaks just before the turn at the 500 metres. Human Touch turns first. From Sound Lover, Waihorda's Lass needs an inside run. Looking to get out now. Here comes Snap on the outside and facing the music 2 lengths behind her. Snap's gone to the lead in the Oaks. She's out by a couple of lengths on facing the music. The chaser with Human Touch, Waihorda's Lass and then Mess. But it's Snap clear in the Oaks with 100 metres to go. She's 3 lengths on facing the music. Waihorda's Lass. Mess is arriving late with Silver Chalice, but she's blitzed them. What a win, Snap. Snap too good, nearly 4 lengths. Very, very close, second and third. We've got facing the music and...
Snap turned the Oaks into a one-act affair to win the 3rd Group 1 event of her career. A daughter of Kingdom Bay, a grandson of Biscay, Snap gave the training team of Dave and Paul O'Sullivan their 5th Group 1 winner of the season.
The O'Sullivan-trained Ensign Hewitt was favoured to complete the Sprinters double in the Telegraph Handicap, but it was the outsider Lady Madonna who struck success over the 1,200-metre journey.
Jalico a little bit wide, back in behind them then as they near up to the turn, Panagold. Half cut right around the outside. Now Lord Triton gets up on the inside. Lady Madonna and Enhancer just in behind these. There's only 5 lengths covering them in the Telegraph at the 350 metres. Donna's Gold on the inside of Ensign Newitt. Kiora Star out into the centres. Lord Triton on the rail, tracked up by Enhancer. Dianera out wider. Lord Triton on the fence. Donna's Gold. Enhancer's a chance, one off the rail. And over on the outside, Lady Madonna is flying home. Lady Madonna picking them up from now Enhancer and Lord Triton the inside, half cut late, but Lady Madonna wins the Telegraph from Enhancer and Lord Triton. Back in behind them then has been...
Lady Madonna's win gave young apprentice Jimmy O'Styke his first taste of victory at Group 1 level. The 4-year-old mare is another Group 1 winner for Kingdom Bay, who stands at the O'Brien Sovereign Lodge stud.
The third day of the carnival features 2 Group 1 events. The first being the Wellington Cup. Top weight with 58 kilograms was the Grand Stayer Castletown, a previous winner of the Cup on 2 occasions.
Ultimate Aim starting to go forward and Castletown circling the field. Back in behind them then is going to be Tough Enough to his mana. Over on the outside, Discard goes forward with Starring just before the turn, then Ace of Luck. Back in the races, the Yapper as they swing the corner and Torbo. Newbury Star hit the front from Lord Majestic back on the inside. Placido's coming after them over on the outside and Castletown's giving a sight here. Castletown ranged up to Newbury Star. Placido between them. Starring is now starting to run on, but he's hit the front. Castletown. He's a length clear on Placido. Torbo late, but it's Castletown. The dream burst into reality, and Castletown's going to win the Cup. That is third. Castletown, the champion's done it. Torbo second. Ultimate Aim's got to third. What a thrill here.
Castletown received a great ovation from the big crowd at Trentham following his Cup success. Having his 13th start at 3,200 metres, the Wellington Cup was Castletown's 4th victory over the metric 2 miles. Ridden by regular partner Noel Harris, Castletown emulated the achievement of Great Sensation, who won the Cup 3 times in the mid-1960s.
Castletown is certainly a warrior racehorse who may yet win another big 2-miler before he retires. The other Group 1 race on Cup Day at Trentham is the Thorndon Mile.
And behind them just before the turn then is Sonteam. Zorro up against the inside. Coming around them now is Merry Maiden. Mahinui Lass got a little bit to do. Ballpark and Suncatch a little between them. Vain Sovereign back and behind them. Javelin looking to get into the clear and wider out. Zorro's coming home well, as to Merry Maiden. Mahinui Lass is starting to run on the outside. Meanwhile, Zorro hit the front. On the outside, Mahinui Lass is coming home strongly. Zorro's a length in front of Mahinui Lass, and then Merry Maiden is going to be close between. Another close one. Well, I don't know. Eddie Wilkinson saluted the judge, but it's...
In a close finish to the Thorndon Mile, Zorro just held on to win. A 4-year-old son of the Cambridge stud sire Gold and Ivory, Zorro is prepared by the father and son team of Frank and Sean Ritchie, who enjoyed a wonderful association with the great Bone Crusher in the mid-1980s. Vobis, the Victorian Owners and Breeders Incentive Scheme. And that's exactly what it is. An incentive for owners to buy Victorian thoroughbreds. Vobis means cash bonuses to owners, breeders, trainers and jockeys. Vobis, keeping Victoria ahead of the rest.
During the summer months, the 3-year-old Hariba had emerged as a rising star on the strength of some brilliant wins in fast times. Having his first run at Group 1 level, Hariba met some quality opposition, including the champion Scalacci at Moonee Valley in the Australia Stakes. Formerly known as the William Reid Stakes, the race produced an exciting finish, with the filly Lady Jackie-O upstaging the fancied pair. At the 650-metre mark, Ellen on a neck in front. Hariba on the outside, 2 lengths then to Scalacci on the outside of Primacy. A length and a half to March here, Lady Jackie-O, and 3 to last of all Pearl Prince. At the 450 now, the acid test is on Hariba. He strides up to Ellen on before the turn. A length and a half further back, Scalacci being called on as Hariba sweeps to the front. It's Hariba the leader from Ellen on when they turn 250 out. 2 lengths further back, Scalacci, followed by Primacy and Lady Jackie-O. Hariba in front, 150 metres to go. Draws 2 lengths in front. Lady Jackie-O out wide, flashing home. Hariba in front. Lady Jackie-O lunges, got up. Lady Jackie-O, the filly, has tipped out Hariba in the last stride. Primacy third.
Trained by John Sadler, the 3-year-old filly Lady Jackie-O recorded the second Group 1 success of her career at Moonee Valley. Stephen King's third Group 1 winner of the season is a daughter of Last Tycoon, the shuttle stallion who serves his Southern Hemisphere season at Arrowfield Stud.
Primacy, who ran third behind Lady Jackie-O at Moonee Valley, continued his autumn campaign in the CF4 Stakes at Sandown. Primacy's jockey Mick Dittman was looking for his first Group 1 winner of the season.
Primacy biding his time on the inside behind him, Runyon and Golden Sword. Excited Angel last swinging into the straight at the 400 now. Homeward bound on the CF4 Asian Incline, raced up to Gifted Poet. Primacy 2 lengths away under pressure from Fra. Next is Runyon, not going on at the moment, and Excited Angel has pulled to the outside from Golden Sword. Asian Incline in front. Primacy coming after it inside the 200 metre mark, clear of Fra. It's Primacy racing up to Asian Incline. Primacy takes the lead from Asian Incline and then Fra, and Primacy drawing on the run home has a head advantage, and Primacy won it from Asian Incline by a head, and Fra is third. Then
across the Tasman at Tarapa, evergreen galloper The Phantom produced a strong performance to win the Cambridge Stud International, his second Group 1 victory of the season.
Prince there for the leader now from Kugel. Lying third, Ballpark, Village Dance to the Phantom, Surfers Paradise, Lagiro, Newbury Star taking off Mr. Brooker, followed by Young Pirate, All or Nothing, and back on the inside, Gay Treese. Rounding the corner on the Cambridge Stud International, and Prince there for the leader now from Kugel. Here's the Phantom, the favourite, starting to pounce, and he raced to them quickly. On the inside, coming after these, Lagiro, Village Dancer, Surfers Paradise is wide, All or Nothing, and Mr. Brooker, but the Phantom's kick clear now. Inside the 200, I'd say it's all over. The Phantom out by 3 lengths, Lagiro, Surfers Paradise, a late run, Gay Treese, All or Nothing, and Ballpark. But what a champ he is. The Phantom has absolutely annihilated the field. Second home, Lagiro, and I think Gay Treese might have
got
got
comfortable win by the Phantom, a talented but injury-plagued horse, put the 8-year-old on course for a tilt at the Australian Cup at Flemington. However, once again, an injury prevented him from making the trip. Trained by Noel Eels, the Phantom is the older brother of this season's Cox Plate winner, the Phantom Chance.
Also run at Tarapa is New Zealand's only Group 1 sprint open to horses of all ages. In a three-way finish, the talented 3-year-old Western Red grabbed first prize.
Over on the outside, the grey fluke between those two then was Lord Trident, followed by Western Red and Charter Knights. Then Quidado, Lady Madonna and Roy's Boy, and 2 lengths to Warpath. He's got the job in front of him. Up towards the turn, 400 to go in the Waikato Draft, and Solvent heads for home now. From on the outside is Dionera Doffers looking for the rails, run a little wider out to Lord Trident. They are followed then by Grey Fluke in behind them. Western Red down the outside, Quidado, and Charter Knights is coming into it too. They're right across the track here. Dionera's a narrow leader. Quidado's coming strongly. Lord Trident, Doff and Warpath, Solvent all getting bad runs, and Western Red bursting through the middle. Western Red, Quidado, Western Red won the money. Quidado second, and Charter Knights a great race for third. They were followed.
We'll see more of Western Red in action as the 3-year-old competed with success during the Sydney Autumn Carnival. The Victoria Derby winner Mahogany returned from his summer spell with a brilliant win over 1,000 metres. The 3-year-old followed up by winning over 1,400 metres at Flemington before starting a hot favourite in the Australian Guineas.
Approaching the home turn with about 700 to run. Kaltar is the leader. Mahogany is close handy. Battlehawk has made a very fast run out deep on the track. Waikika Mookow very wide as they enter the straighter. And they're followed by Pride of Rancho looking for a run just behind them. Pull to the outside. Let's Cut Loose. They're in the straighter. And Mahogany moving up on the outside has hit the front with about 400 to go from Kaltar. Battlehawk down the outside. Pride of Rancho, Royal Rubiton. Mr. Mutual Respect coming down the outside from a long way back, and Voting's got nowhere to go. Mahogany in front. He's now under the whip. He's being tackled by Pride of Rancho with 150 left to go, but he's responding. Mahogany a length to Pride of Rancho, who's trying to get to him. Mahogany ridden for dear life, still in front. He's hanging on. Mahogany's just won from Pride of Rancho. Tight for third march here, or Mr. Mutual Respect. And
Mahogany's Guineas victory may have been achieved by a narrow margin, but his courage when needed was a highlight of the 3-year-old's 5th Group 1 career success. Back in 1992, the Lightning Stakes heralded the arrival of the outstanding sprinter Scalacci. Since then, the speedster has gone on to win a career total of 7 Group 1 victories, a great achievement. In this season's Lightning Stakes, the Lee Freedman-trained 5-year-old was attempting to win the first leg of the Sprinters' Triple Crown for an unprecedented 3rd time.
Further back, Scalacci ridden off the pace, followed by Ali Shannon, 2 lengths to Never Under Charge. They've passed the 500, and Classic Magic joined on the rail by Ken Vane and headed by him now at the 400. Wider out, Keltreese and Daring Ombre. Scalacci in the clear, Brawny Spirit running wide. At the 300-metre mark, Ken Vane, Classic Magic, Keltreese a line of 3. Scalacci 2 lengths astern, wound up coming after them. Keltreese at the front from Ken Vane, a length Scalacci. It's Keltreese in front of Nick. Ken Vane is fighting back, and so is Scalacci, but Keltreese in front, and
Keltrace won the Lightning. Keltrace from Scalacci.
Under
and
weight for
Ken
age
Vane close
conditions,
up on
the
rail.
3-year-old Keltrace just held off Scalacci for an important career victory. Stephen King's 4th Group 1 winner of the season is from the 2nd Southern Hemisphere crop of Arrowfield Stud's champion sire, Kenmar. Trained by Ian Harrison, Keltrace will remain in training next season before taking up stud duties at Wrangle Park Stud in Victoria.
Just 6 days later at Caulfield, the Lightning Stakes place getter Ken Vane broke Scalacci's race record in the Oakley Plate, the second leg of the Sprinters Triple Crown.
Up the side they come at the 600-metre mark. Barcara the inside and Mukhtar lead a length. Sportsworks a length to Ken Vane. Black Rouge the inside. Dapper's Hope next, and then follows on the outside of these is Classic Magic. Further back is Sublimate, and then Keltrace with a bit of work to do around the turn. Blue Boss hooks to the outside and Laser Beam. Barcara led Mukhtar into the straight from Ken Vane, and Sportsworks under pressure. Further back is Sublimate looking for a run through at the 200-metre mark. A line of 3. Ken Vane took the lead on the outside from Barcara, Mukhtar and Sublimate on the scene late, but Ken Vane has broken away, and Ken Vane will bolt it in. Ken Vane wins by more than 2 lengths to Sublimate.
With brilliant acceleration, Ken Vane defeated a class field to give apprentice Jason Patton his first Group 1 success. Trainer John Sadler then took Ken Vane to Moonee Valley to win the Group 2 Stanley Wooten Stakes before this son of Kenmar retired to Blue Gum Farm in Victoria.
Arrowfield Stud's champion sire Kenmare is a fine example of the success achieved by stallions from the Grey Sovereign sire line in Australia and New Zealand. Another stallion from this prolific sire line produced the winner of the Karrakatta Plate, the premier race for 2-year-olds in Western Australia.
And then came on the outside there, City Jewel, National Pleasure, followed well back in the field by Martone Magic, Regimental Tattoo, with Swan Song and last for home, Boart, 3:50 to go, and Transparency first for home. Jack's or Better goes to second from Satan's Diamond, they're followed by Morning Star, Scarlet Crown, and then Shady Shadow and wider out Serious Matter. Jack's or Better at the 120, got to the lead and got away now, 2.5 lengths from Serious Matter. Coming home quickly into 3rd place is Martone Magic, Jack's or Better. Martone Magic picking him up, but Oliver sits up and Jack's or Better. Jack's or Better by a half from Martone
Jack's or Better is the first Group 1 winner for his sire Caravilla, who stands at Palmer Stud in South Australia. Trained by George Daly, Jack's or Better was a $26,000 purchase at the Abcos yearling sales in Adelaide.
Earlier in the program, we saw the O'Sullivan-trained mare Miltax score a decisive win in the Auckland Cup. Preparing for an Australian campaign, the 4-year-old went to Ellerslie for the Weight for Age Action TV Sales Stakes, over 2,000 metres.
Trying to creep away 2.5 to 3 now, all or nothing on the inside of Newbury Star. Miltac appears to be fair, bolting next on the rail, followed Village Dancer. They make the bend, Major Affair. Then we've got Gay Trees, Ligero, Lucy Sutton into the straight, under 300 metres left to go in the Action TV Sales Stakes. And Solve, they've still got to get to it. It's out 2 lengths on all or nothing. Miltac being asked a question now, got a split on the rail. Over on the outside, Village Dancer, Major Affair, Ligero. Solve's just in front of Miltac and all or nothing. Solve in front. Miltac coming hard on the inside. Solve it. Miltac neck and neck, stride for stride. Solve it. Solve it, I think, just got there from Miltac. It's mighty close. 5 lengths away.
Jockey David Walsh riding Solvit in his accustomed front-running style, the 5-year-old just held out Miltac to record consecutive victories in this feature race. Solvit is trained by Moira Murdoch.
At Otaki the following day, the O'Sullivan-trained sprinter Javelin was attempting to win the Terrace Regency Stakes for the 3rd time. However, Javelin was denied success by the consistent Lord Trident, who broke through for a well-deserved Group 1 victory.
About to go for home, Lord Triton from Panagold. Javelin will use the false rail as they swing the corner. Lord Triton snuck away a bit here. He put 2 lengths on Javelin, who was out after it. Wider out Romany Conti, Panagold with him. We've got now Lord Triton. He's still a couple of 3 lengths in front. Romany Conti out wide, then Panagold and Javelin, but he's well clear today. Lord Triton. Lord Triton has got it by nearly 3 lengths to Javelin, Panagold, Romany Conti and Warpath. The next home then is
Lord Trident's win in the Terrace Regency gave veteran jockey David Walsh 2 Group 1 wins in as many days. We'll see more of Lord Trident in action later in the program. The Chipping Norton Stakes at Warwick Farm signals the start of some tremendous Group 1 racing in Sydney. Past winners of this time-honoured Weight for Age race include Farlap, Talic and Superimpose. This season's winner was Telesto, the talented 4-year-old with the heart-stopping style of racing.
Last Telesto, 600 out as they near the turn. Clearly Chosen the leader. Western Red in second place, followed by Kingston Bay and Burst together, and then Seascay, and behind those Corndale, who's off the track, followed by Shelved, then Chasendo. Telesto getting a run up on the fence, and Skillful Star last as they turn into the straight in the chipping. Norton and Clearly Chosen giving a ton of cheek as well. Clear. Burst is the first to go after him, followed by Kingston Bay, and now Telesto hooked to the outside is starting to wind up. Clearly Chosen about to be tackled by Burst. And look at Telesto. Telesto coming down the outside at 100 miles an hour. He finally wins another one. Telesto beat Clearly Chosen. Burst in a photo for third.
Telesto gave former Queensland jockey Glenn Boss his biggest win since making the move to Sydney. And for Randwick trainer Graham Begg, it was his second Group 1 winner for season 93-94. The following Saturday at Canterbury, Telesto's younger brother Fraternity, together with March Hare, were the popular picks in the Guineas. However, these Group 1 winners from the spring were beaten by the smart Kiwi 3-year-old Western Red, who showed a big improvement on his performance in the Chipping Norton when favourite.
600 metres out, the leader Clearly Chosen going at a good gallop, led by a length and a half to Zaremba under pressure, Star of Maple under pressure. March Hare on the outside, about 3 lengths away. Sha Tin Heights losing a little ground, followed closely then by Western Red, and further back No Rush, followed by Rose Reward, Rum Rustic and Fraternity as they turn the corner where Clearly Chosen is the leader. But March Hare on the outside has raced up to him and went to the lead, coming to the 200 mark. March Hare's drawn clear. Here's the danger. Western Red on the outside, coming after March Hare, and now Rose Reward and Fraternity down the outside. Western Red hit the lead close to home over March Hare. Fraternity getting home late, but Western Red, Jeff Allendorf for the Canterbury Guineas, beat March Hare with Fraternity.
Western Red showed that he possesses a touch of class in winning his second Group 1 race of the season. From limited opportunities, the 3-year-old sire Spectacular Love has also produced the brilliant Calm Harbour, one of New Zealand's best horses. Western Red was ridden to victory in the Guineas by Jeff Allendorf.
Leading jockey Mick Dittman bypassed the meeting at Canterbury to ride primacy in the Futurity Stakes at Caulfield. Favourite for the race was Scalacci, and the 5-year-old set a scorching pace over the 1,400-metre journey.
Coming down the side, and Scalacci's made all the action out in front. Led a neck to Black Rouge, Primacy on the rail, and Alderson the outside. There's been no change, 600 to go. Then Terrari, who's booted along on the inside of Deposition. The tempo quickening up, coming towards the turn, and Scalacci about a head in front now from on the outside, Black Rouge. Alderson hooks out for a crack at them. He's coming 3 wide with his run, and Primacy just held up behind the leader. Scalacci tackled by Alderson on the outside. A gap now for Primacy. Scalacci in front of Alderson, and Primacy takes the run. Primacy hit the front at the 200 now. From Scalacci, Alderson's run has ended, and Deposition with a late effort, but Primacy has broken away from Deposition and Scalacci, and Primacy is going to win it brilliantly. Deposition has flashed up.
Primacy's Futurity Stakes win was the 4-year-old's 3rd Group 1 success of the season, and the 4th of his career. This son of Prego proved to be one of the season's best sprinter milers, and a valuable asset to the David Hayes stable.
And so we come to the first of the season's featured 2-year-old races, the Blue Diamond Stakes. From the lead-up races, it was clear that the colts Hurricane Sky and Mr Vitality were the main contenders in this $500,000 race. Having paid a late entry fee of $25,000 for Mr Vitality, Connections had some anxious moments when the David Hayes trained colt settled down to fight out a tough finish with Hurricane Sky.
Novojenski led coming to the 600, nearly a length in front of Plaska, Just Dance On. 1.5 to Hurricane Sky, and then Mr Vitality, who's hard ridden. Racer's Edge next, getting up on the inside from Renacci, and then Excella, and Mellow Chateau is last at the turn. And the filly Novojenski led Just Dance On, and Plaska hooked to the outside. Mr Vitality under extreme pressure, but running on, and then Hurricane Sky and Racer's Edge, but Novojenski led for home from Just Dance On. Wide out Mr Vitality and Hurricane Sky are coming. Hurricane Sky crowded for room. Racer's Edge looking for a run. Now Hurricane Sky answers and grabs the lead. Mr Vitality going with him. Excella with a late run. It's Hurricane Sky and Mr Vitality. Hurricane Sky and Nick in front, and Hurricane Sky will win it. Hurricane Sky from Mr Vitality by half a length. Photo third between Renacci and Excella.
Hurricane Sky's courageous Blue Diamond win gave trainer Gerald Ryan his most important career success, and jockey Stephen King his 5th Group 1 winner of the season. Following a good performance in running 4th in the Golden Slipper, Arrowfield Stud secured a share in the son of the highly successful deceased stallion Starwatch. Hurricane Sky will return to racing with the hope of more Group 1 success as a 3-year-old. In recent years, the Australian racing scene has experienced a changing of the guard among training ranks. Dominating for many years was the legendary trio of Colin Hayes, Tommy Smith and Bart Cummings. With Hayes now retired, and Tommy Smith in the twilight of his remarkable career, only Bart Cummings remains an active force. Leading the way among the new generation of trainers are the arch rivals Lee Freedman and David Hayes. This season they each trained 10 Group 1 winners, a clear indication of their ability and the quality of horses they prepare. In Sydney, Graham Begg, Tommy Smith's daughter Gay Waterhouse and John Hawkes represent a cross-section of the more prominent younger brigade of trainers. In his first full season of training for the powerful Ingham Brothers stable, John Hawkes has turned out more than 200 winners, including 3 Group 1 winners, from the headquarters at Crown Lodge, and he won his first Sydney Trainers' Premiership. One of the quiet achievers among the new generation of trainers is Flemington-based Gerald Ryan. In just 4 years, Gerald has established himself in the leading bracket of Melbourne trainers.
Well, right from when I was a kid, you know, I used to want to be training, want to train me ponies and that, and go in a pony club, and always wanted to be a jockey, and so that was going to be a process of getting through into training. Was after I rode, I wanted to train, and which I did. You know, I rode for 18 years, and then got the opportunity to be foreman for John Hawkes when he started Carbine Lodge here in Melbourne. I was there for 2 years, and then David had a parting of the ways with his previous trainer, and I sort of applied for the job and started from there. There was probably 40 horses ready to come into work or in work, and you know, it was a great opportunity to be able to start off with so many horses, and to have a bloke like David behind you and in a setup like we got here.
This season, Ryan has trained more than 50 Metropolitan winners in Melbourne. His most important success coming in the Group 1 Blue Diamond Stakes, Australia's second richest race for 2-year-olds.
Hurricane Sky and Nick in front, and Hurricane Sky will win it. Hurricane Sky from Mr. Vitality by half a length.
Gerald Ryan prepares his team of 50 horses from Hobson's Lodge, which is conveniently located to Flemington on the banks of the Maribyrnong River. A large percentage of his stable are horses owned by the contract racing syndicates, of which David Moody is the manager. Without doubt, the Blue Diamond winner Hurricane Sky is the current star of Ryan's stable, and he's confident that the promising colt will perform well during his classic season.
Hopefully, you know, he can stay or run in the Derby, and you know, so that'll be his ultimate aim, probably the Derby. And you know, if he runs big in the Caulfield Guineas or wins the Caulfield Guineas, well, there's the Cox Plate there, you know.
With the generational change from the dominance of Hayes, Smith and Cummings almost complete, season 93-94 will go down as the year that Australia's new breed of trainers put their stamp on the future of Australian racing. Tommy Smith, Colin Hayes and Bart Cummings, Australia's trio of record-breaking trainers. The reason for their success and much more is revealed on Raceplay's latest video, Dominators. Phone now and place your order for Dominators.
Back in December, we saw the O'Sullivan-trained filly Popsy produce an outstanding effort to beat the colts in the New Zealand Derby. As part of her preparation for a campaign in Australia, the filly went to Ellerslie for a weight-for-age race against her own age and sex.
They make the bend in Real Success and Silver Chalice. Epic Flight, last of all, homeward bound. Thrilling Day has gone up to Biscat. Raging's coming out after the mess between runners, followed by Sound Lover. Popsy with a job in front of it, 4 lengths off the pace and out wide of Winter's Tale. And here's Silver Chalice rattling home down the outside. Biscat in front of Thrilling Day. They're followed by Mess and Raging. Silver Chalice, Popsy's exploding on the inside. Popsy exploded to the front, and Popsy in a close photo is going to get it. So second is Biscat, I think.
Unfortunately, Australian racegoers didn't see the best of this Sir Tristram filly when she crossed the Tasman. On the strength of her Derby win, Dave O'Sullivan declared Popsy to be the best staying filly he's trained. Such praise from New Zealand's leading trainer should not be dismissed lightly, and Popsy will be a prominent contender in any feature races she contests next season.
Coming off his first Group 1 success at Otaki, the 6-year-old Lord Trident stepped up to 1,600 metres at Trentham, where he contested the TV New Zealand Stakes.
Jimmy Nail and Ball Park go head-to-head. Beowulf coming around the outside with Ma Ray, going for home now. And Ball Park on the outside of Jimmy Nail. Beowulf over on the outside of the 2. Lord Trident starting to get into the clear now, and Moire's running home pretty well. Lord Trident picking up Ballpark pretty easily here. Then Moire, Quadrado won't win this. Lord Trident and Ballpark, the stable reps down to it. Quadrado's running on the outside. Lord Trident going for another Group 1, and he'll deliver. Lord Trident has beaten Ballpark. Quadrado's run third.
Lord Trident held off stablemate Ballpark to win his second Group 1 race of the season. The 6-year-old is a son of the Bletchingley stallion Lord Ballina, whose progeny includes 6 individual Group 1 winners.
The Victoria Racing Club's Autumn Carnival took on a new look this season, with the Newmarket Handicap and the Australian Cup being run on the same day. The third Group 1 race on what was a fantastic day of racing was the Vobis Sires Produce Stakes.
Into the straight and the size at the 500-metre mark now. And as they balance for home, Del Sol led from Blevik the outside, and Euripides third under pressure. Back behind them is Code, Prior Engagement, Western Beat. Down the outside, Love of Mary and Racer's Edge are coming with their runs. At the 300 now, and Blevik raced to Del Sol. Blevik took the lead from Del Sol, clear then of Code, and running on Racer's Edge and Love of Mary. Blevik in front of Del Sol, who won't give in on the inside. They're about 3 lengths in front of Racer's Edge. It's Blevik just the leader from Del Sol, Racer's Edge and Love of Mary. Blevik is finding plenty for Mick Dittman under pressure, and Blevik will go on and win it from Del Sol second. A photo third, Racer's Edge.
David Hayes' 7th Group 1 winner of the season is from the first Australian crop of Scenic, the son of the champion European sire Sadler's Wells. The sire's produce was Mick Dittman's 3rd Group 1 winner of the season. All 3 wins coming on horses trained by David Hayes.
Out to repeat his success of last season, the David Hayes trained Primacy shared favouritism with Never Under Charge in the Newmarket Handicap. However, neither favourite figured in the finish of Australia's Premier Sprint.
Brawny Spirit is on his own down the grandstand side, and he's not too far away from the pace. With about 450 to go now, and Mukhtar just to lead a Pitcairn Edition coming after him. From Laser Beam, and further back in the field is Ken Vane with a run from Keltreese. Never Under Charge is next, and Primacy held up for a run, and Brawny Spirit on his own down the grandstand side is in the finish. It's Mukhtar and Pitcairn Edition and Brawny Spirit on the grandstand side. It's Brawny Spirit, and on the inside Mukhtar. Mukhtar just the leader. Mukhtar in front, and Mukhtar has won it. Mukhtar is first. A photo between Let Him Ride.
Last season's Oakley Plate winner Mukhtar gave a tremendous display of power sprinting to win the 2nd Group 1 race of his career. With stake earnings of more than $780,000, this grandson of Northern Dancer was later retired and now stands at St John's Lane Stud in Victoria.
Coming off his win in the Australian Guineas, Mahogany was attempting to become the first 3-year-old since Dulcify to complete the Victoria Derby Australian Cup double. Mahogany started favourite ahead of stablemate Durbridge, whose hat-trick of wins leading into the Cup showed that he was also in great form.
They've got 650 to go in the Australian Cup, and Captain Cook for Neville Wilson will turn into the straight by a length. Marshall comes away from the rail on Durbridge now. Then Fra and Pride of Rancho. Our Pompey ridden along on the inside. Mahogany next following Pride of Rancho into the straight. Now hooks out as they came towards the 400. Captain Cook by a length and a half to Durbridge. 2 or 3 lengths further back in the field is Fra. Mahogany's given full ball down the outside from Pride of Rancho. 250 out though, and Durbridge went for home. He raced away. Durbridge raced a couple of lengths in front of Captain Cook. Mahogany is under the whip, but Durbridge with a mighty lead. He's out 3 lengths. He's got it 1. He's holding them safely at bay. And Durbridge, a great winner. Durbridge wins it by 2 lengths. Station Hand got up for 2nd. Mahogany and neck away 3rd.
One of racing's quiet achievers, Durbridge lifted his career earnings above $2.5 million with his 3rd success at Group 1 level. The 6-year-old's season was far from over, though, as we'll see later in the programme. Clashing with the action at Flemington was the opening day of the Sydney Turf Club's carnival at Rose Hill. In the Ranvet Stakes, Dark Czar gave trainer David Hayes a 2-state Group 1 double.
On the turn into the straight, Seascay got right through on the fence. Solvid got on the wrong leg. He ran right off the track on the corner. And Seascay says, catch me if you can. He's well clear, straightening up, but Kingston Bay. Kingston Bay on the outside is coming after him quickly. Getting between them, Red Machine and now Thrifty Reserve and Dark Czar from nowhere. Kingston Bay hit the lead 100 out, but Dark Czar's the danger. Dark Czar is coming at Kingston Bay. They've come away. They'll fight it out tooth and nail. Dark Czar going far the better. And
purchased for just $750 as a yearling, Dark Czar's first Group 1 victory lifted his career earnings to nearly $600,000. Ridden by Jim Cassidy, Dark Tsar was Group 1 winner number 8 of the season for David Hayes and his Lindsay Park team.
Since moving to Sydney from New Zealand a few years ago, Jim Cassidy's younger brother Larry has been quick to establish himself in the leading bracket of riders. One of the many trainers to have resourced Cassidy's talents is John Marr, and it was this combination who teamed up for their second Group 1 success of the season in the Winfield Classic.
Into the straight, Asian Incline the leader. In second place, Mingling Glances. Rich Pageantry has been 3 deep for most of the trip. Burst is about to get an inside run as those leaders shift out, followed by Ladies' Way, and then the Perfume Garden taken to the extreme outside. In the straight, coming to the 200, Asian Incline, Mingling Glances. Burst is getting up on the inside of them, Rich Pageantry, and here comes the Perfume Garden with a big run down the outside. Flitter's there, and so is Cap Chat. Have a look at this. You've never seen a race like it. Where do you look? It's Flitter, Cap Chat on the outside, Mahanui Lass coming from nowhere. Cap Chat on the extreme outside wins the Winfield. The breath to Mahanui Lass.
Unplaced just once in 10 starts, the Winfield Classic was Cap Chat's 5th career win and her first at Group 1 level. A daughter of the leading New Zealand sire Centane, the filly was one of 3 Group 1 winners for trainer John Marr in the 93-94 season.
Sponsored by Australia's biggest selling agents, William Inglis and Sons, the Rosehill Guineas is the feature 3-year-old race during the STC's Autumn Carnival. Success in the Classic went to the David Hayes trained Star of Maple.
Rum Rustic out very wide, Star of Maple, followed by Shelved and back towards the tail. Sky Watch as they come around the corner. Zaremba first into the straight over Golden Cocktail. Ford Chase getting between that pair. March Hare looking for a run, and then Tin Heights and Waikikamook out of the extreme outside with Pillar of Salt. In the straight, 300 out, and it's Zaremba the leader over Waikikamook who's challenging strongly. March Hare between them, but Waikikamook race to the lead past the 200. Star of Maple wide out, coming from last, is finishing on very gamely. Waikikamook's in front, close to home. Star of Maple, which has come from last, is overpowering Waikikamook and got up on the line.
Coming from last early in the race, Star of Maple produced a strong finishing burst to grab victory in the last stride. The 3-year-old is from the second crop of At Talak, while his dam is a daughter of the champion stallion Without Fear. The Rosehill Guineas was Shane Dye's 3rd Group 1 winner of the season.
If you thought the finishing run by Star of Maple was good, then you'll enjoy watching this next race. It's the Weight for Age George Ryder Stakes, and the horse to look out for is Telesto with Shane Dye in the saddle.
Telesto is now tacking on at the tail of the field as they come around the turn. Sir Bernard and the heavyweight of the joint leaders into the straight over. Big Dreams, Al Akbar about to go up and join them. And then Alderson followed by Skating, and further back Burst and Soho Square. And Telesto sticking near the fence as they turn for home. Into the straight, and Al Akbar is coming at Sir Bernard. Big Dreams between them, followed by Burst and Skating, and Telesto is now looking for a split between horses. At the 150 mark, Big Dreams and Al Akbar are fighting it out. Telesto is still there. Down the outside is Golden Sword now. It's Telesto grabbing the lead in the shadows of the post from Golden Sword, and Telesto gives Dye
the Rosehill Guineas was Shane Dye's 3rd Group 1 winner of the season. In addition to winning twice at Group 1 level during the season, the 4-year-old Telesto, famous for always being slowly away and then storming home, recorded photo finish placings in the Epsom and Doncaster handicaps. Telesto's narrow victory in the George Ryder gave his trainer Graham Begg 3 Group 1 wins for season 93-94.
Across in New Zealand, the filly Moonshine staked a claim for the season's best 2-year-old by winning the Sires Produce Stakes at Awapuni.
600 metres to go in the Ford dealer team, and with 2 sires of 94. And here we've got Bay City Roller from Asahi. Catalina Heights coming around them. Silver Star and Critical Point. Moonshine now runs on. Al Forte tracks them up. Everdon's flushed very wide to the corner. Bay City Roller now with Asahi taking it on the outside. Critical Point starting to get out. Moonshine, Catalina Heights and Everdon a bit of buffeting here. We've got Asahi to Bay City Roller. Critical Point, Moonshine's flying, and now here comes Everdon. Moonshine, Critical Point with Asahi kicking again on the inside. Moonshine's the leader. She goes for home. She wins the sires. Moonshine's beaten Asahi and Critical Point. 4th over then has been Everdon.
The Victorian Racing Calendar, published monthly and carrying vital information to the racing professional. This is a proven advertising success. It gets results because it goes directly to, and most importantly, is read by your target market. For all advertising inquiries, contact Julian Sullivan on 03 863 7333. Logan's for horse insurance. Logan's lead the way in all types of thoroughbred insurance and are on call 24 hours. Most of Australia and New Zealand's leading stud masters and owners rely on Logan's for their insurance requirements. Principal Bob Logan is well known and respected throughout the industry. Logan's, always on the scene, so you'll never be in a spot. Ring the experts. Logan's. Their 24-hour hotline number is 02 909 1499.
On Golden Slipper Day at Rose Hill, the first of the feature races is the Ansett Stakes, a traditional lead-up to the AJCX. As we saw earlier, the Sydney-trained Abarea had dominated the Fillies Classics during the spring, and coming off a Group 2 win, it was this filly who started favourite.
In third place, Sparkling Special on the outside of Arborea, and then Swift Falcon and Capchat. No Bellotto taking off is carted very deep on the corner, followed by Tiggy Touchwood, and then Thrilling Day and Skywatch as they turn. Straightening up, it's Royal Aria and Alcove, clear of Tiggy Touchwood. Arborea's under a bit of pressure now with 300 to go, followed by Thrilling Day, and further out Capchat, and here comes No Bellotto down the outside with a big run. Alcove hit the lead from No Bellotto. Skywatch on the outside, Arborea between horses, not doing enough. 100 out, Alcove tackled by No Bellotto. It's Alcove just in front. No Bellotto and Skywatch won't pick her up, and Alcove wins the Ansett.
Alcove's win gave Flemington-based trainer Tommy Hughes Jr. his first Group 1 success. Ridden by Patrick Payne, Alcove had her next start in the AJCX. Looking for his first win in Australia's premier two-year-old race, trainer David Hayes saddled up 4 runners in this season's $2 million Tooheys Golden Slipper. His runners included the favourite St Covet and the Blue Diamond runner-up Mr Vitality, who came into the race only after Connections paid a late entry fee of $100,000. The Lee Friedman-trained Dan Zero had bypassed the Blue Diamond to concentrate on the Slipper, and it was this colt and St Covet who fought out an exciting finish to the world's richest two-year-old race.
These leaders are flying. Lord Jim's in front, more than a length to St Covet. 2.5 to Racer's Edge on the inside of Hurricane Sky, followed by Marwina, Dan Zero, Rose's Path, Dr Zachary. At the head of the others then is Zanaletti as they come down to the home turn. Mr Vitality midfield under pressure. Moment's Pleasure out very deep, and then Charlie Bubbles. Powiak is a mile back, followed by Restive, and then Stonebrook Meadow and Tayara. Into the straight, Lord Jim, the leader, St Covet on the outsiders, going after him. 2 lengths away, Racer's Edge, followed by Hurricane Sky, and Dan Zero pulled right out to the middle of the track, is starting to warm up now at the 200. Lord Jim headed by St Covet, but here comes Dan Zero. Dan Zero down the outside is about to swamp these leaders. Dan Zero coming at St Covet. St Covet is kicking again. It's St Covet and Dan Zero. They hit the line, heads up, heads down. I reckon Dan Zero a breath to St Covet in a head bobber. Now third probably
Riding
Racer's
with
Edge
tremendous skill and strength, Greg Hall got Dan Zero home by a narrow margin. However, St Covet's jockey Shane Dye added to the drama by lodging a protest against the winner. This was subsequently dismissed, and the colt by Arrowfield's first season sire Danehill remained the winner. Dan Zero gave the Friedman brothers consecutive victories in the Golden Slipper and their 8th Group 1 success of the season.
Trainer Lee Friedman was looking for the big feature race double when he saddled up the favourite Durbridge in the BMW. However, it was the Kiwi mare Miltac who produced her best form to win the $1 million weight for age event.
500 metres out, Zaremba joined and headed by Durbridge. Durbridge took a narrow lead, straightening up over Zaremba. Fraz in third place under pressure, followed by It's All in Fun, and Station Hand is now under the whip. And down the outside, Miltac and Air Seattle as they come to the 200. It's All in Fun has dashed through between horses to grab the lead. It's All in Fun has raced clear of Durbridge, followed by Station Hand and Miltac coming down the middle of the track. It's All in Fun as well clear with 100 to go. Miltac's the danger. This Bonnie New Zealand mare, Miltac from the O'Sullivan stable. She's too good. Miltac wins the BMW.
Since this race was changed to weight for age conditions in 1978, only 2 mares have won the BMW. Coincidentally, the previous mare, My Blue Denim, was also trained by Dave O'Sullivan. Ridden by Brian York, Miltac was the 7th Group 1 winner of the season for the O'Sullivan stable.
From Rose Hill, the autumn action switches to Royal Randwick. One of the feature races on the opening day at the Carnival is the Derby, which from this season onwards will be known as the Australian Derby. Champion 3-year-old Mahogany started a warm favourite in this $1 million classic.
Zaremba led by 3 to Mahogany, who's getting to him rapidly now. Rum Rustic dropping out of it, followed by Fraternity, and then Star of Maple, Arborea, Sable Dreamer, and Waikikamu Cow is taken to the extreme outside as they come over the rise. Greg Hall looks extra confident on Mahogany. Zaremba's in front as they top the hill. Mahogany is gobbling him up very quickly with Waikikamu Cow and Arborea down the outside, but Mahogany swept to the lead, 100 out. He's got them struggling. Waikikamu Cow in second place, can't do any better, and then Arborea and Fraternity, but Mahogany flat to the boards is holding Waikikamu Cow, and it's the two-state Derby double to Mahogany. Waikikamu Cow second.
Given a perfect ride by Greg Hall, Mahogany won his 4th Group 1 race of the season in comfortable fashion. In doing so, Mahogany became the first 3-year-old since Dulcify to complete the AJC VRC Derby double. By Last Tycoon, a grandson of Northern Dancer, Mahogany went for a well-deserved winter spell with career earnings of $2.3 million. And for jockey Greg Hall, the Australian Derby was his 6th Group 1 success of the season.
The Doncaster Handicap is one of the time-honoured races on the Australian racing calendar, and in its long history, it's doubtful that there has been a more thrilling finish than witnessed this season.
The length away last to Lesto, who's now tacking on as they come to the 700 mark, nearing the turn, and Dopf is the leader over Primacy. Al Akbar third, Poetic King is fourth, followed by Ruslan, and then Quadrado out very deep square the circle, followed by Kingston Bay, going well but has nowhere to go at the moment, and then Mr. Door, Pharaoh, Excited Angel, widest of all on the turn into the straight. Golden Sword is waiting for the cutaway, and tagging him through now is Telesto as they come over the rise, where Poetic King dashed to the lead. Poetic King has burst to the lead from Never Under Charge. Excited Angel down the outside, and then Ruslan and Al Akbar and Telesto right behind those leaders. Poetic King tackled by Kingston Bay, Excited Angel, and look at Pharaoh. Pharaoh coming down the outside, might tip them all out. Kingston Bay, Pharaoh, Telesto getting up on the inside of them all. Close Telesto or Pharaoh. I think they've just beaten Kingston Bay in the centre. It's a
Gavin Eads' reaction to his first Group 1 success certainly gave the large Randwick crowd something to cheer about. Trained by Gay Waterhouse, Pharaoh is part owned by her father, Tommy Smith. The 6-year-old has been an honest and consistent performer over the past 3 seasons, and his Group 1 success was well deserved.
The second day of the AJC's Carnival featured the return clash of Dan Zero and St Covert in the Sires Produce Stakes over 1,400 metres.
Dan Zero starting to work into it now, still giving the leaders about 7 lengths, and well back Blevick and Last Buy as they turn for home. St Covert is first over the rise from Dapper Magic on the outside. Jack Saw Better on the fence, immediately under pressure, and then Dr. Zachary followed by Restivan. Dan Zero is now putting in a long run. He wants to lay in a bit. St Covert has burst well clear at the 200 mark. Dan Zero's running into second place. He's taking an age to get out after St Covert. He looks pretty weary, Dan Zero. St Covert is clear inside the 100. Dan Zero's struggling. He can't do any better, and St Covert's going to win the Sires. Good on you, Wayne Harris. St Covert beat Dan Zero. Blevick has come from last again.
Ridden by Wayne Harris, St Covert's strong win in the Sires gave trainer David Hayes 10 Group 1 wins for the season. With 6 wins and 2 seconds from 8 starts, this grandson of Lusk and Star was one of the star 2-year-olds of the season.
Over the past 3 seasons, the New Zealand horse Prince of Praise has been a regular visitor to Australia. Previously successful over the Randwick Mile, the 5-year-old achieved the most significant victory in his career in the All-Age Stakes.
Coming around the turn, Prince of Praise, the leader. Soho Square getting closer. March Hare in third place as they turn for home, being hard-ridden, followed by Skating Skillful Star. Then it's All in Fun. Zinders and Deposition pull to the outside. Telesto is about to come into the clear, but he's a mile back as they top the rise. Prince of Praise tackled by Soho Square. March Hare behind them. It's All in Fun, hard up against the inside rail. Telesto can't win. 100 out. Prince of Praise fighting back. He's grabbed the lead again. Prince of Praise forging clear, and here is a boil-over in the All-Age Stakes. Prince of Praise ran them off their feet to beat March Hare. Third's close, Romany Conti or Soho
Ridden by
Square.
Craig Carmody, Prince of Praise defeated some quality opposition in the All-Age Stakes. The 5-year-old is a son of the Habitat stallion Crossways, whose progeny also includes the multiple Group 1 winner Viandacross. Prince of Praise takes up stud duties at Paramount Stud near Matamata in the spring of 1994.
While Gavin Eads had to wait a long time to ride his first Group 1 winner, the second of his career came around much quicker. Just 2 days after his memorable Doncaster victory, Eads piloted Jetball to success in the Galaxy.
And then Kiliad and well back Sublimate, Clan O'Sullivan. Katana's about second last on the turn and Slight Chances a mile back. Straightening up and Brawny Spirit the leader over Stormy Regent with Giant Slide 3 deep. Off the track Jet Ball. On the fence coming over the rise then is Simpose. Right behind those Kiliad followed by Royal Discard as they top the hill. There are plenty of chances. Brawny Spirit just the leader. Simpose getting the rails run wider out. Jet Ball. Royal Discard is now coming through in the middle. Brawny Spirit just the leader. Jet Ball is thundering down the outside. He's got him. Jet Ball takes the lead close to home, and the Doncaster jockey Gavin Eads wins another one as Jet Ball races away to beat Brawny Spirit with Simpose third. Close up.
Jet Ball confirmed his ranking as one of the best 3-year-old sprinters of the season, with a strong win over the older and more experienced horses. With 7 career victories, this son of Masquet was retired following his Randwick win and will commence stud duties at Fairdale Stud in New Zealand next spring.
Across the Tasman, the Easter weekend of racing at Ellerslie features 2 Group 1 events. In the TV New Zealand Stakes at Trentham, the stablemates Lord Trident and Ballpark had Quinella that race, and it was this pair who fought out the finish of the Easter handicap.
Round towards a corner, just under 500 metres left to go, and Ballpark slipped away about a length and a half now on Jade Moon. On the inside to Lord Trident, Pure Lust, their name for glory's out wider, Counterbalance, Dianera, and Power Chief, they're homeward bound, 350 left to go, and it's Ballpark a length and a half clear from Lord Trident, stablemate. Between runners, Jade Moon, Pure Lust, and Dianera's coming home pretty well with Carson's Cash and Ocean Liner. They race in 150 left to go in the Sleepyhead Easter, and the 2 stablemates, Ballpark the inside, and Lord Trident, they knuckle down, but Paul Parker's pulling out the extra. Ballpark beat Lord Trident, flashing home for third in the photo, Nelson Valentine with Pure Lust.
Ridden by Tony Allen, Ballpark denied stablemate Lord Trident his 3rd Group 1 win. A 4-year-old son of Ahanura, Ballpark is prepared by the training partnership of Mick Moroney and Jeff Richardson.
Coming off her good win in the Sires Produce Stakes at Awapuni, Moonshine went to Ellerslie, where she confirmed her ranking as New Zealand's best 2-year-old of the season.
In the Ford dealer team, Ellerslie Size Produce Stakes of 94, and Stony Bay's the leader. It swings for home 3/4 to Allegro. Top forms angling out into the clear. They're followed by Moonshine. In behind them, Bay City Roller, Avedon, Asahi, Feeling Bright, and Mark 2 Zephyr. Down the straight, 250 left to go, and it's Allegro from Moonshine. The filly by Sound Reason coming out after it. Critical Point is threading its way through at 2-1. Then we've got on the inside Avedon. They're followed then as they come down by Perfect World, but Moonshine, what a gutsy filly. She's hit the front, and Moonshine has got it. Moonshine has taken out the Ford dealer team Ellerslie Size Produce Stakes from Allegro and Critical Point.
After being caught wide for most of the 1,400-metre journey, Moonshine showed plenty of courage to win her 2nd Group 1 race of the season. From the last crop of successful sires Sound Reason, the filly is trained by the father and son partnership of Trevor and Stephen McKee at Takanini near Auckland.
Back in Sydney, the 3rd day of the Australian Jockey Club's Carnival featured 3 Group 1 races. The VRC Oaks winner Arborea and the New Zealand Derby winner Popsy shared favouritism in the AJCX. However, with track conditions favouring horses racing near the lead, both fillies found it difficult to get into the race. Having said that, nothing can be taken away from the winner Alcove, who put up a great staying performance.
Thrilling Day, the leader, over Alcove and Cedo Flowerian, then Sparkling Special. Constant Flight 3 and 4 deep on the turn, followed by Tiggy Touchwood, and then Booked, followed by Popsy, and Arborea's in front of only a couple as they come over the rises. Now pulled to the extreme outside. She'll have to do something sensational. The leader, Thrilling Day, headed now by Alcove. Alcove takes the lead at the 200 mark. They're clear of Cedo Flowerian, followed by Constant Flight, and Arborea not doing enough, but Alcove shot clear. She's got the Oaks well and truly won. She's coming right away in the last bit, and Alcove bolted in. Cedo Flowerian second.
Champion apprentice Patrick Payne showed good judgment on Alcove to win his 2nd Group 1 race of the season. Alcove is by the deceased stallion El Kahira, a son of Sir Tristram.
Veteran galloper Durbridge was racing with great enthusiasm during the autumn, and in the Queen Elizabeth Stakes, the 6-year-old stallion showed he was holding his form. With the assistance of a well-judged ride by regular partner Simon Marshall, Durbridge notched up his 2nd Group 1 success of the season.
Durbridge about 4 in front. Make that 5 now. Durbridge is well clear on the turn over Soho Square, followed by Fra and then Pharaoh, and further back Romney Conti. Kingston Bay is last as they turn for home, but Durbridge is a mile in front coming over the rise, led by 4 lengths to Soho Square. Pharaoh running on, and then Romney Conti, and it's all in fun. Durbridge is drifting out past the centre of the track, but he's well clear. Romney Conti close to the inside is running home gamely. Durbridge with a B in his bonnet is getting right off the track, but he's holding them all at bay. Durbridge, he's done a few things wrong, but he bolts away with the Queen Elizabeth Stakes. Durbridge first, Romney Conti second, Marrakesh.
Turning the race into a one-act affair, Durbridge gave trainer Lee Freedman Group 1 winner number 9 for the season. In doing so, Durbridge took his career stake earnings to $2.73 million, and there was more to come. John Hawkes has achieved considerable success since taking over the training of Jack and Bobbingham's large string of horses, but a Group 1 victory had eluded the powerful combination until this season's Sydney Cup. Australia's largest racing stable broke through when jockey of the moment Gavin Eads piloted Cross Swords to success.
Gull Sovereign first into the straight over Cross Swords. Our Pompey a length away, flat to the boards, followed by O'Hara, and Dark Czar sweeping around the outside as they come over the rise. Cross Swords went to the lead from Gull Sovereign. They're nicely clear of our Pompey. Dark Czar and O'Hara look to be struggling, followed by Paris Fire with Azarman. Hear that bell down the outside. Gull Sovereign and Cross Swords are fighting it out. Cross Swords goes to the lead inside the 100. Hear that bell is charging down the outside. Cross Swords in front and thrown over the line by Eads. Cross Swords wins the Cup.
Riding with a newfound confidence, Gavin Eads landed his 3rd Group 1 winner in the space of 7 days. Cross Swords is the 10th individual Group 1 winner produced by Grosvenor, yet another of Sir Tristram's successful sire sons.
The final Group 1 race from the AJC's Autumn Carnival is the Champagne Stakes for the 2-year-olds. Attempting to win the race for the 3rd time in 4 years, trainer Clary Connors saddled up 4 runners for the 1,600-metre race.
Straightening up, and Alouette about 4 off the fence is just the leader over Euphoria. Mr. Vitality putting in his run, and Blevick is coming right down the middle of the track. He looks the big danger. Mr. Vitality's gone, I think, at the 200. Euphoria grabbed the lead, but Blevick on the outside. Mr. Vitality still there, fighting on. Euphoria just the leader. Blevick on the outside. Mr. Vitality in the centre. Euphoria holding on. She's going too well, and Clary Connors does it again. Euphoria fell in to win. Talaga on the
After an absence of 8 years, jockey Gavin Duffy returned to the Group 1 winners' circle with his win on Euphoria. A daughter of the Golden Slipper winner, Marauding, Euphoria gave trainer Clary Connors 3 Group 1 winners for the season.
Raceplay presents the story of 2 of Australia's most courageous racehorses. Super, Better, Best. The saga of Superimpose and Better Loosen Up. A video to treasure forever.
For express delivery, phone Raceplay 03 699 4188 and quote your credit card.
The Bart Cummings-trained Tristalove bypassed the AJC Oaks in favour of the Australasian Oaks at Morfordville in South Australia. Coming off a win in the Group 2 Alistair Clark Stakes in Melbourne, Tristalove started a warm favourite.
But Tristalove, given a lynch of rain, has slipped to the lead. Pindy's coming out of the pack running on, and there too was Our Mess. They've got away from Pre-Packer's Dream. Pindy's a bit of a threat. Tristalove the leader. Pindy's running a big race. Our Mess further back to Futile. He's had to go for Tristalove. Pindy's run a very cheeky race. Tristalove will hang on. It's going to get the money, I'm sure, but what a run by the bolter, Pindy. It's Tristalove winning the Schweppes Group 1 Australasian Oaks. A length and 3/4, Pindy, a huge
Tristalove's easy win gave Bart Cummings his 5th success in the Australasian Oaks, and jockey Simon Marshall his 5th Group 1 victory for the season. This classy daughter of Sir Tristram should figure prominently in feature races during her 4-year-old season.
The South Australian Derby attracted a relatively inexperienced field of 3-year-olds, including the winner Bullwinkle. Having only the 8th start of his career, Bullwinkle was well ridden by apprentice Patrick Payne.
Centico behind those, Bullwinkle to the outside, Sportsbeat tracking up. In the middle is Vistago, looking for room, striking Twig, followed by Pax Matt Will. Then Consortium under pressure to the outside. My Tristalad is well back in the field at the moment, doing nothing. And then came out wide as Seclude, Pax Matt Will ahead of it. Down to the 200-metre mark, and Bullwinkle and Centico go to the leaders now with Battlehawk, striking Twig the rail, and Sportsbeat out wide. Bullwinkle, and on the inside, Battlehawk, and down the outside, Pax Matt Will. Here's a great go, Bullwinkle. Bullwinkle wins the Malaysia Derby, I think, narrowly from Battlehawk.
Bullwinkle's Derby success provided emerging Victorian trainer Michael Kent with his first Group 1 victory. The 3-year-old is from the first crop of Bellotto, a son of Mr. Prospector, who stands at Arrowfield Stud.
On the strength of her comfortable win in the Australasian Oaks, the Cummings-trained Tristalove started an odds-on favourite in the South Australian Oaks 2 weeks later.
Around the turn, 400 to go in the Sizzler Oaks, and here the leader now cycling. Watch Lake Lucerne. Pindy has raced up quickly. Go Doll was next. Tristalove looking for a way clear. Has a bumping jewel there and was flattened. Tristalove in big trouble, and Pindy the Grey got to the lead of the 200 by a half to Lake Lucerne. Go Doll, Trivial Ass out of the pack. Further back to Our Lady, but the little grey in front, Pindy. Lake Lucerne the inside now. Trivial Ass is coming at them. It's Pindy in front and close to home. They're not going to get the grey, I don't think. No, she's got the grey. The grey's home in the Oaks, Pindy.
Trained by Colin Alderson, Pindy produced a good staying performance to give jockey Alf Matthews his only Group 1 success of the season. Pindy is the third individual Group 1 winner sired by Toy Pindari, a son of Brigand.
Punters who had taken the short odds about Tristalove received another body blow following the running of the Goodwood Handicap, South Australia's premier sprint. The locally trained mare Ambala caused a boil-over, winning at tote odds of 130 to 1.
Around the outside of those was Balmoral Bow starting to come into it from Yankee Dapper. Then All Imagination, Superior Arts got nowhere to go. Neither's Chiliad nor Ambala, and down the outside Corregidor started to run on, and they were followed further back by Let Him Ride, who's starting to slide, but the leader Pitcairn Edition now from Corregidor, and down the outside Let Him Ride is starting to come, and so is Simon Stather across the track, getting through Blue Boss, and now Ambala the mare put her nose out and she's grabbed the AWA Goodwood.
The Goodwood Handicap was a career highlight for trainer Barry Brook, who prepares a small team near Oakbank. It was also the first Group 1 success for apprentice Jason Holder. Ambala is by the Sir Ivor stallion Gielgud, who now stands in Japan.
As a 3-year-old at the South Australian Jockey Club's Carnival, Al Pompey had won both the Derby and the Adelaide Cup. This season, Al Pompey started favourite in the Caulfield and Melbourne Cups, but had not greeted the judge since his Adelaide Cup win. Although frustrated by Al Pompey's lack of success, trainer George Hanlon's perseverance eventually paid dividends.
And here's last year's winner, Our Pompey. He's starting to wind up on the outside, and they were followed by Sweet Glory, Top Rating, looking for a run. Charleston Party under pressure, Bar High, Red Icing to the outside, and Frontier Boy improving. As they race down the straight to the 200-metre mark, is this a shade of deja vu? Our Pompey has gone to the lead. Our Pompey, 2 in front in second placing, battling on Sweet Glory. Swift Talent and Top Rating is flying. Our Pompey in front, and it is a case of deja vu. Does he love Morphettville? Does he? What? 3/4 Sweet Glory, Top Rating, I think, from Darkside.
Al Pompey reproduced his good staying form of 12 months earlier to win the third Group 1 race of his career. Although the opposition in South Australia was not of the highest quality, there's no doubting that Al Pompey is a strong stayer. As a 5-year-old, the George Hanlon polish could enable Al Pompey to be a force in handicap races from 2,400 metres and on.
The Brisbane Winter Carnival also got underway in May, with the first of the Group 1 events being the Doomben 10,000. On the strength of her first up run from a long spell, former top 2-year-old Bint Masqué started favourite.
Is just in front of Bint Masqué. All Our Mob is moving up on the outside. Sprightly Jet just behind them. Morden to the outside. Bucks Pride and Cape Stad next, followed by Flitter. All Our Mob and Bint Masqué there together. Bint Masqué is just in front of All Our Mob. They look as though they're going to fight it out. Here comes Flitter up to 3rd place. All Our Mob and Bint Masqué, they're stride for stride. All Our Mob is just in front. Flitter's flying the last little bit. They hit it. Flitter's got up to win it.
Showing all of his renowned vigour, Jim Cassidy landed his 4th Group 1 winner of the season on the Max Lees trained Flitter. This daughter of Bluebird became the first mare to win the Doomben 10,000 since the champion Maybe Mahal in 1977.
Trainer Lee Friedman took a select team to Queensland, including the evergreen Durbridge. A lead-up win in the Group 3 Hollandale Cup on the Gold Coast primed the 6-year-old for the Doomben Cup and his 3rd Group 1 success of the season.
Durbridge is shifting his ground. He's rolling out. He's joined now by Paris Lane. Durbridge and Paris Lane. They lock together. They just brush there. Marrakiz is up to 3rd, then Pure Last. Durbridge is kicking on. He's just in front of Paris Lane. Durbridge a neck in front. He's starting to edge away from Paris Lane again in the run to the line, and Durbridge has won the cup. Durbridge first, Paris Lane second. Pure.
Surviving a protest from his stablemate, Durbridge completed an outstanding season with his victory in the Doomben Cup. The 6-year-old stallion's 7 wins in season 93-94 included 3 at Group 1 level and 3 at Group 2 for prize money in excess of $1 million. The Doomben Cup also gave trainer Lee Friedman and jockey Simon Marshall a special place in racing history. Friedman's 10th Group 1 victory gives his stable the distinction of reaching double figures for the 3rd consecutive season. And for jockey Simon Marshall, he became the first jockey to ride Group 1 winners in every mainland state of Australia in the one season.
He's certainly a great racehorse, Durbridge, and that win in the Doomben Cup pushed his career earnings past $3 million. In the sire's produce at Eagle Farm, Durbridge's stablemate Drum started favourite behind the Queensland colt Brave Warrior, a 2-year-old some had been touting as Australia's best since his win over St Covert in the Magic Millions.
And Drum is the leader. Drum leads by a neck. Second, Brave Warrior at the outside. Magic Gent 2 away third, followed by Moonshine, and then Full Scope on the outside of Chief De Beers. Arrogant is next on the inside of Pucker Ridge. Al Jassi now starting to go forward. Then Boyd Murphy and the Astrologer is last of all. They hit the straight and Drum is the leader. Leads by a length on Brave Warrior. Under a little bit of pressure on the outside. Magic Gent, Chief De Beers next. Moonshine is running on gamely. Arrogant and Al Jassi's right down the outside. Brave Warrior's gone. Chief De Beers has gone to the lead. 150 metres out. Chief De Beers in front. Here comes Arrogant. Arrogant is flying home. Chief De Beers just in front. Arrogant's got him. Arrogant's too good. 1 at a length. Chief De Beers second.
In winning the 4th consecutive race of her career, Arrogant becomes the first 2-year-old filly by successful sire Rory's Jester to win a Group 1 event. Confidently ridden by Grant Cooksley, Arrogant is trained in Sydney by Billy Mitchell.
Jockey Grant Cooksley recorded his first Group 1 success of the season in the sire's produce, but had to wait only 40 minutes before winning his second. In the Queensland Oaks, Cooksley was aboard the AJC Oaks place getter Booked.
A packing field as they come up towards the home turn of the Oaks. They've got 500 metres left to go, and as they run to the bend, Lamore is just in front. Trivia Lass is claiming her quickly on the outside. Just behind them, Sky Angel looking for the way clear. Booked is still there. Then Aussie Sculptor, Sedana, Nobelotto, and Diamond Harbour's down the outside. Plenty of chances. 300 metres to go. Lamore is still the leader. Booked is looming as a danger on the outside. Sky Angel can't get a go at them. Nobelotto and Diamond Harbour joining in. Pindy and Sky Watch wide. Lamore just in front. Booked is going to with the last little bit. Book poked the nose in front of Lamore. Pindy flying home with Sky Watch. It's going to be tight. They hit it. I think Booked has just won it. Photo finish. Booked, I'd say, has just beaten Lamore, Pindy and Sky Watch. The 4 of
Having
them
her 10th start of the season, Booked was rewarded for her consistency with success at Group 1 level. Trained by John Hawkes, this filly is a daughter of the deceased stallion Pine Circle, who served only 2 seasons at the Ingham Brothers Woodland Stud in the Hunter Valley.
On the strength of his close second to stablemate Durbridge in the Doomben Cup, the Lee Friedman-trained Paris Lane started a hot favourite in the Queensland Derby. However, it was the jockey of the Winter Carnival, Grant Cooksley, who stole the Derby with a brilliant rails-hugging ride.
Straightening up in the Derby, 450 metres left to go. Baker's Boy is immediately under pressure. Zaremba moving up on the outside. Magic Road is still there. Sky Angel is making her dash. And look at the beautiful run that Tenner's got through on the inside. Paris Lane out wide has started to come into it, and then Sapio. Tenner per medium of that beautiful run has dashed to the lead at the 200. It's Tenner in front. Paris Lane is chasing him on the outside, but Tenner's got a handy break. He's a length and a half in front. Paris Lane can't catch him. No, Tenner is going to win the Derby. Tenner punched right out, wins it a length and a half to Paris Lane. What a Poet got third, fourth.
The John Hawkes trained Tenner produced good acceleration in the final stages of the Derby to give Grant Cooksley his 3rd Group 1 victory in the space of 7 days. Tenner's success once again highlighted the loss of his deceased sire, Starwatch, a son of Bletchingley, who served only 2 seasons at Woodlands.
The centenary running of the Stradbroke Handicap brought together a class field of sprinters with a Sydney-trained All-Our Mob starting favourite. Looking for Group 1 win number 11 of the season, trainer Lee Friedman was well represented by Simon Stad and Cabora.
Flitters going wide as they set sail for home, and then Bucks Pride in the straight, 400 metres to go. Ballasnap is the leader just in front of Sublimate and Loudspeaker on the outside. Ferragamo behind them looking for the way clear, followed by All Out Mob on the extreme outside. Dan Jiki's just there, and here comes Simon Stad. Simon Stad is joining in on the extreme outside past the 200 metre point. All Out Mob in front of Loudspeaker, Sublimate. Simon Stad is trying hard to get to them. Cabora's through on the inside. All Out Mob in front. Cabora's flying at him the last little bit. They hit it. Maggio flew. All Our Mob won the
After
Stradbroke.
being beaten narrowly in the Doomben 10,000, the consistent All Our Mob compensated connections with a victory in the Stradbroke. The 4-year-old gave Sydney trainer Brian Guy the first Group 1 success of his career and broke a 3-year drought at this level for leading Sydney jockey Kevin Moses.
The final Group 1 race of the season for 2-year-olds is the Castlemaine Stakes. Run over 1,600 metres under handicap conditions, the field included the first 5 place-getters from the sire's produce. The Queensland colt Brave Warrior again disappointed his followers after starting favourite.
Drosky's 3 lengths in front. King's Reign running second. A gap of 4 lengths to Portside. Another length to Proud Pack. Next on the inside is Just a Printer. Then Chief De Beers and Moonshine, Critical Point and Gold Satin. Further back is Mr. Moore. Well back is Origin. She's 15 lengths off the pace, and Brave Warrior's about 16 to 18 lengths off the leader. As they straighten up now, 400 metres out. Drosky coming back to them. Just a Printer looming up on the outside, and Chief De Beers is making his run. King's Reign just behind them. Critical Point, Portside coming into it. Moonshine down the outside with Mr. Moore. Brave Warrior still giving them a long start, and Origin is starting to weave her way through the field. Just a Printer slipped to the lead. 100 metres to go. Just a Printer in front, flying on the outside Origin, but Just a Printer's pinched it. Just a Printer first, Origin second. Chief De Beers
Mick Dittman returned to the Group 1 winners' circle for his 4th Group 1 success of the season. Just a Printer, a grandson of the great sprinter Vane, gave Sydney trainer Rob Johnson the first Group 1 winner of his career.
The final race on this edition of the Australasian Racing Year is the Brisbane Cup. Carrying the #1 saddlecloth was the 1992 Melbourne Cup winner Sub-Zero, who was having the last race of his career.
Coming up towards the home turn, they've got just short of 600 metres to go, and Skyflyer, he's taking off on him now. He's headed for home, Skyflyer, and he's moved away from Silgali to lead by a length. Potential Star has got the drop on them. He's in 3rd place. He's coming to the outside. Then Strike Sparks and Big Baron, Sub-Zero under pressure. Cross Swords and Ancient Ritual on the outside, but Skyflyer is the leader. 250 metres out. Skyflyer 2 lengths in front of Potential Star, trying hard. Then Strike Sparks and Cross Swords, but Skyflyer, he's going great guns with 100 metres to go. He's got the Brisbane Cup shot to pieces, and Skyflyer goes to the line to win by 4 lengths. Cross Sword second. Cool Credit flying home got third. Then Strike Sparks and Potential.
The New Zealand-trained Sky Flyer produced a strong staying performance to record an easy win in the Brisbane Cup. The 6-year-old son of Half Iced gave jockey Bruce Compton his only Group 1 success in the season.
And that brings us to the end of another edition of the Australasian Racing Year. In a great season of racing, vintage crops, history-making success in the Melbourne Cup was certainly a memorable highlight. Oh, and don't forget, if you'd like to gain an insight into the legendary training careers of Colin Hayes, Tommy Smith and Bart Cummings, you'll enjoy the latest Raceplay production, Dominators. Until next year, good luck.